Good morning. Oh, you know what? always There's always something when I start my videos. When will I get it right? I just realized I didn't pop out my reselling platforms. So want to pop that out. All right, I'm going to give people a little bit to get in here since I didn't schedule this live like all my other ones lately. And that way I'm just not talking to myself, although I'm talking to you on replay. So thank you so much for joining. The big news, of course, is that I'm going to be going on to the reseller rally, which I'll be talk about that in a little bit. Okay, I forgot to monetize. I keep forgetting to monetize my videos. Let me tell you what my balance is today. Oh, hey Kendra. Are you not busy at work today? Oh my gosh, I'm up to $4.99. And I lost 4 subscribers in the last week. Not too bad. Good morning, Laura. Um, did you reply to that Discord message? I saw it said like that you were typing about going to the reseller rally. And I'm like, I don't know if I saw a post come through. My phone, everything is so wonky lately. Oh yeah, that sounds like fun, Tamara. I hope you have a good time. Yeah, so if you guys aren't part of the Discord, there's been links in the bottom of my videos. Some of them, not always. I don't know. Sometimes it puts it in, and sometimes it doesn't. I don't understand about all that. All right, so I'm gonna go make this monetized. Maybe I can break the $5 mark. Woohoo! I think it's funny. I was watching Ann Eckhart yesterday. She was talking about one of her videos for last month for January only made her, not last month, I guess 2 months ago, in January only made her $130, I think. I'm like, listen, she only put up 8 videos. I'm like, mine made $4.99. It's not a moneymaker. Not too busy yet. I have notifications on for when you go live and saw it pop up. I woke up with an irritated throat, so I'm nervous and I'm about to get sick. Oh, I had that last week. I went to Watertown with grandma, and on the way there, I was fine until we got in the car. And then on the way there, all of a sudden I said, my right side of my throat felt really irritated. And I looked in and it was red. I said, my sinuses are okay though. Like I don't feel like most of the time when my throat gets sore, it's because my sinuses are aggravating it. But no, nothing. All right, so now everybody else coming in after you guys are all going to have to watch a video. And all those on replay. Now I have to watch a video. Okay, so I have not pulled any of my orders today. And so I got to do that. But I'm just so excited that I'm going to the Cincinnati. So I didn't even ask Tony. I heard about the Cincinnati show watching Scott the Vera Picker's show from last night. Started watching it last night, and then I decided to go to bed and lay down. And I was still on my phone for another hour, but when I'm laying next to Tony and he's on his phone, I try not to have anything where I have to listen. So it's usually just reading. Hey, see, rewind. Pollen is really high here. All the pine pollen. Oh, where are you located? That stinks. Well, there's no pollen here because there is snow. We just got another, probably about 8 inches on Friday/Saturday. But the sun's out today, and I told my husband that. So I'm going out for lunch today. I'm going to do my show, package my orders, and then I'm going to get in the car. I'm going to go to the post office for him because he usually does it. And I am going to go out because it is sunny. The problem around here is so much business is closed on Mondays. A lot of restaurants are closed. The one thrift store that's for the Humane Society that's in town, that's closed. And I've been wanting to go since they relocated last summer. They relocated. I have stopped going there because their prices were insane. They put eBay printouts, eBay asking printouts, not sold, on their items. And I called them out on it. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm just not going to come and give you my money because although I agree with your mission, your prices are insane. They were so high. Kendra says, I'm a snorer and I vaped a lot yesterday, so hoping it goes away. Feels a little post-nasal drippy. Yeah. If it's post-nasal, then it could be you're coming down with something. That stinks. But there are times if I know that I had, like I snore, but I usually only snore when I'm coming down with a cold or have a cold. I don't, as far as I know, I don't normally snore. But yeah, if I snore, I have a sore throat. And I'm sure the vaping doesn't help. Mrs. All Natural, but then you put that stuff in you. Ugh. I just can't imagine it's good for your breathing and your lungs and all that. So that's why I say just stick with the edibles. Think positive, Kendra. Maybe it's just the pollen in the air. Yeah, see, that's okay. That's why C Rewind said pollen. So you're in Houston. I was watching. Oh, so last night, that's what I was watching on TikTok. I was watching a guy. He was out. He was in Arkansas, and he was metal detecting. I have been addicted to watching lives on TikTok at night. I've been doing that instead of watching TV. And he was out using his metal detector in a field, picking up, like digging up stuff. Mostly coins, mostly nickels, dimes, and quarters, and every now and then metal tin roof pieces. What else did he get? Some metal bottle caps. Oh, he was saying he gets a lot of pop tabs, but he didn't end up getting any of those last night. But he did find a ring, I think maybe a pin. I'm not sure what that was. And he found a 1942 franc. Is that what it is? Like from France, I'm assuming, I think, coin. So he was pretty excited about that. All over the board, people were telling him the different price ranges. I don't know how much ended up really being worth, but he was really excited. He's like, how does the 1942 coin get into this field? Like, wouldn't you? I just love to know the story when you find something, the story behind it. So even when you find something in a thrift store, it's kind of like, what's the story behind this? Like, where was it? How many hands has it gone through over the years, or did it stay in just one home the whole time? And that person just passed away and ended up in the thrift. Sometimes I just wonder. I'd love to know the story behind stuff. That's one thing. I was going through my mom's stuff. For those who don't know, my mom had passed in January. Going through her items, there's a couple things that I'm like, I wonder what the story is behind this. And I wish I would have known to ask. One thing is this little Hummel that she had on her, at this house, it was on her end table in the bedroom. And I took that out of the four children. Nobody else wanted it. And I said, I'll take that. That reminds me of her. She didn't have very many sentimental things. Most of the stuff was newer. She's already pretty much gifted most of those items that were sentimental. So I found a Bible that has a cloth covering, like a handmade quilted covering holder for it. And I'm trying to figure out, like, where did that come from? I took it out of it and there's no markings, no nothing. I don't ever remember seeing that. I'm thinking it may have been my grandmother's and that she got it when my grandmother passed, because it must have been in my grandmother's bedroom. My grandmother lived with my parents. And, well, she lived at the nursing home when she passed, but she lived with my parents since 1994, 95 maybe. 94, 95. My grandfather died in 94, and she moved from Florida and up to live with my parents soon after that. And but I'm like, oh, I've never seen this. Like, why? I wish I would have seen it before to be able to ask about it, but I didn't know. I think my father-in-law's coming down the stairs. I did inherit my grandfather's Bible, so I do have that. And my dad had a Bible that my sister, one of my sisters took. So I don't know. I don't know. I love to know the story behind things, though. Hey, good morning, Anissa. I would love the stories behind some of the things I pick up. Yeah. Like, especially you hear about people who have, and somebody shared on here, I can't remember who it was, about my mom and dad's ashes. And you hear about people who buy storage lockers, and when they go in there, they end up finding, ashes. He didn't come over here. So I'm thinking maybe he heard me talking. And so he decided not to walk over. That's what I'm thinking. Otherwise, I'll tell him when I see him later. He's over helping your dad collect some sap. Your dad used binoculars and looked out the side window, and he thinks that buck barrel over here is full of sap. So he came in yesterday saying the sap wasn't really running. It's been chilly here. It's been below 32. And even if it gets above freezing, it's still got to be above freezing long enough to melt the sap that was already in the lines that has come from last time it was above, and all that other stuff. So it's been kind of, it hasn't been so good so far this year. So good morning, Anissa. And then, oh, I thought somebody else came in, but no. All right, let's get to packing. I don't have very many orders today, and I did not pre-pull anything. So I'm going to go and grab the items as I pack them. Good day to go for a walk. It is. I think it's going to be 38 today, and that is my plan, to go for a walk. Hence why I got longer sleeves on today. And then, of course, I'm going to run to the post office, and hopefully I'll probably go out to grab something for lunch, and then I'll probably just sit in a parking lot somewhere, and I'll probably find a park somewhere and sit in the car and eat with the sun blowing into my face. All right, I got to go to F6 and get some birds, which I was thinking, Kendra, you were with me. I think you may have been with me when I bought these birds. I'm trying to think of where I got these. They were at a garage sale. So F6 and UU. Let me get two at one time. How's that? F6. Actually, I'll just package as I go along, because these are heavy. Not heavy, but I didn't want to, with 4 of them in my hands. So I got these little birds. There's a set of 4. I paid $1 for them. I did not realize at the time. So there was this yellow one and a red one and this green one. What's missing with him? His feet. They're here. So his feet came undone. It is listed in the listing like that. So I'll probably get an INAD because people don't read. And, that's what happens lately. So speaking of an INAD, so I sold 2 bunnies, and 864. I think they're over here. Are you an 86? No, you're not. Uh-oh, I think I used my last 864. What are you, a 1086? No, I don't need you that big. Oh, here we go. I got one left. I think this might be my last one. So I sold these 2 rabbits, these 2 Easter bunnies. They're really cute. I'm trying to think of the brand name. They're a big brand name. I don't know, like not Left In, but something like that. And I sold those, and I took a picture, and I think it was like not very far in. I put it in the description that there was a chip, and I zoomed right in and showed the little, like so tiny. So let's say it was this bird. The chip was like over here on the very end. And when you looked at it in the front, you couldn't even see the chip. So it definitely was something that somebody could still use. Good morning, Holly. I hope you're busy packing a lot of orders. Oh, you know what? Tape. I can use this eBay tape for now, but I do have an Amazon order I gotta do today. I did go to BJ's and buy some tape because I was all out. So the person sent me a message, and they said that they received the items. They're like, oh, they're really cute. One of them is broken, but I couldn't find the chipped piece in with your packaging because I took the rabbits, bubble wrapped them together, and then I put them in a bag, and then I put them into the box. And they're saying they couldn't find the chip piece, so they thought that it was broken when I mailed it. And I said it was broken. Here's the picture in the listing. Here's your listing description. So they said, well, they wanted a half of a refund, 50% off for one of them. And I'm like, no, return it for a refund, not a full refund, because I will deduct your shipping there and shipping back. And even though I said that, eBay, if they file an INAD, an item not as described, you can't deduct usually the shipping, which was odd. But it gave me even though she chose the item arrived damaged, I was able to withhold her shipping there, which was $6 she had paid, and I was able to withhold 50%. So I withheld 50% because that covered her shipping to ship it back to me. And she hasn't complained yet. So she got like $4 back. Because I'm like, I priced it accordingly to pretty much you're buying one, getting one free. You're buying one, and that was the price that I priced it at, like $12. And that's pretty much what one of them would sell for. And the other one was kind of a freebie because it did have that damage. And a lot of people, when I posted in an eBay Facebook group, they were like, I never sell damaged stuff because this is what happens. And I'm like, well, I didn't want to throw it out. And if you're putting it up on a shelf or something, people are not going to see that little tiny chip because the way the bunny was situated, you wouldn't see the chip on it. So yeah, it wasn't like front and center, it was in the back. But if you put it on a shelf where people can walk behind it, they would see it. All right, let me grab some bubble wrap. So these are actually made of resin. I think I'll just wrap each one separately. I need 4, and then I will put them in the box. So Tony just went by on the UTV, him and his dad. So his dad was here. I think that probably was him. I bet you he did. Normally, as you know, he'll come down and say hi to you, say hi to us. He's not shy of the camera. But he may have thought I was on the phone rather than YouTube, if Tony didn't tell him. Because like when they were living here, I would tell him, I'm going to go down and go live. So when I'm wrapping stuff with bubble wrap, it's kind of just a tip I'm going to give just because why not, right? So there's bubble wrap here, and now I'm going to fold this over. So now it's got double bubble. So if I was to do this and fold it over here, it would end up having quadruple bubble. But instead, I'm going to take this and wrap it around the back side. So now the front and the back both have extra bubble. And then this piece. I kind of do that with a lot of stuff, even though it's not natural for the way the bubble, like if you're just wrapping something, it's not natural to wrap it like that. But anytime I can, so even I'll do that. Sometimes I'll wrap it and then I'll put another piece of bubble going the other direction. But that bubble, I just touched one and it popped really easy. I noticed this bubble wrap seems to cut really easy, like rip it apart. I wonder if it's the same company I bought my bubble wrap from last time. I can tell you it's not American Bubble Boy because they're more expensive. But I'm wondering who this company is that I bought it from. All right, so this is the one that is broken. So please, I hope that they don't say they got it. It's broken. I didn't know. I didn't read. I don't want it for that one that's broken. And the girl even admitted in her return that she didn't read the description. She goes, I wish you would have just sold the one. And I'm like, I'll sell the one for $12.99. If you want just one, $12. I think I'm going to decide to keep it and just use it in my own decor instead of relisting it. Because they're really cute. All right, 12 ounces. Oh, I got to sign into eBay. Isn't that surprising? Isn't that surprising? I don't know why, eBay. You make me sign in so often. I feel like for a while I wasn't having to sign in as much. 13 ounces. 8. 6. I definitely need to order some more 864 boxes. What did I just get from eBay? I just ordered some boxes from eBay. I can't remember what they were. Where's this going to? Adamsville, Alabama. Is that near you, Laura? Adamsville? Priority mail is $7.96. First class is $6.22. It's only a 1-day difference between priority mail and first class. That's so weird. I always felt like priority was a lot faster. Doesn't seem like that's really the case anymore. Especially now that first class is supposed to be just by ground. American Bubble Boy, Dad's nickname. Yeah, but in the wrong way. So look at this eBay box. Look at how like the eBay is printed not in the right spots. That is an eBay fail. It's not really eBay, right? They pay somebody to provide their boxes. Okay, so now I'm gonna go get I sold some nylons, pantyhose. The 4 red ones. All right, I think it's these 4. There was one in the middle of them, so now I gotta double check because they weren't all together. There was another pair stuck in between. Let's see, a white, a cream, a brown, and a black. Okay, so I got these. Were at a garage sale. This lady had a ton of them. So I paid 50 cents a pair, and so $2 total for these, and I sold them for 18 plus shipping. They're actually part of my. Let me see if they go over a pound. They were part of my 50% off clearance, even though I just bought them last year. They had not been listed for a whole year. I did kind of list them on the higher price side, so I figured let's see if I can get that higher price, because there is a group of people who like vintage older nylons, and I don't know. 2004 they say on these. I just don't know much about them, so I kind of priced them high, and I figured if I ran a sale, no big deal. 12 ounces. Okay, so I can use that envelope. I'll use this one. So did you guys see that I'm going to Cincinnati? I wanted to wait till a few more of you got in here before I talked about. Don't buy these. Don't buy those from Supply Hut. These envelopes. They are sticky. They're horrible. I don't like that when you peel stuff off and the glue comes off. Like there's like a string of glue. Don't like them. So I'm going to Cincinnati. I had heard about it watching the Bearded Picker show last night. He brought it up, and I knew they didn't do it last year. So I guess maybe they're going to do it every other year. But 2 years ago, I didn't go, and I really regretted not going. Most of the people that go, I don't think they're people that I talk to. Like I watch some reselling and resellers, but like Commonwealth, Kevin. I watch NC Flipper, like the Trash to Cash podcast. I like those guys, Carrie, Kevin, and Dave. But they don't know me. They don't know me I'll say me from Adam, but they probably know Adam. So there's a lot of resellers that I watched and I've watched over the years, but they don't really know me because I don't go to these types of things. Nor do I. I think that's probably I don't go to these things. A lot of them don't do lives. Like Dave, Carrie, and Kevin, then they don't do live shows. So you don't have that opportunity to be in their chat for them to get to know you. Like I get to know you guys because you're in my chat, and like the Bearded Picker, I'm in his chat enough that he would see, and so we've kind of been like online friends, and thankfully I got to meet him and Laura last year. So I'm thinking it would be really nice. I'm hoping that we see a few more people that I know. I see that Chris, Cornhusker Picker, is thinking about going, which he's in my Discord group. So I would absolutely love to meet him. Love to meet any of you. So I don't know. How far are you in this? Is that anything you would go to? Or do you have like introvertness, social anxiety? Because that's how I told my husband, I said, I bought tickets. They are refundable up until September 9th. So I said, if he ends up choosing not to go, then I can cancel. But my husband is a social butterfly, and he will be walking around talking to everybody. He will want to become everyone's best friend, and he will be encouraging me. If somebody invites us to do something, he will be like, let's go, let's go, let's go. I, on the other hand, am not like that in public. I talk to you guys, and it's really unusual. Like, I'm like, I'll sit at the table and you guys can come to me, but for me to go out and talk to all of you guys, like, that is really uncomfortable for me. But I'll tell you that since my mom died, and she was my best friend that I did stuff with around here, like, I don't really have a lot of like in-person friends, because when we moved over here, COVID hit, just haven't had an opportunity. I work from home. I don't have coworkers in regards where if you worked for an employer, local employer, you get coworkers. So it's kind of like, all right, I got to start pushing myself a little bit more to get outside my comfort zone. And that's actually something that Scott's been talking about on his channel, is getting outside your comfort zone with different things. Like, he was talking about reading and exercise and all this other stuff. And I'm like, I got to do that. I got to get myself outside my comfort zone. Eric, good morning. You have not been here in so long. I've thought of you so much. I have been brainstorming. I want to order a sign from you so bad, and I've been brainstorming like what to order. And you just did one, and it was really nice. And for those who don't know, he has his own business, and he's got like what is it? Is it a laser? But he cuts it out of like aluminum and metal things. And wood, probably wood too, but I think most of the stuff I see is all some type of metal. I want to get my husband something to put up above his, if they're worthy for outdoors, outside his sugar shack. I've been really been thinking about it since last summer, but I can't think of exactly what I want and what I want it to say or the image or whatever. So I've been having a hard time with that, because they're not inexpensive, and I just want to make sure that it's like something that would be like, oh my gosh, like he would really love it. So I got to think of what that is. But yeah, so I've been thinking about you. So then when I saw a video or a Facebook post the other day, it actually may have been this morning or yesterday, and I thought, see, Tamara, you've got to come up with something. You've got to do something. All right, so I got to go to C3 and get an overnight bag, like a health and beauty traveler bag. And while I'm there, I might as well grab F7, C3 and F7. Man, oof, that was open on the other end. It just fell out of its bag. I will say that I wish on eBay. So I have all those things that I put on a picture of you, a picture of me. So those who don't know, Kendra's my daughter. That's in the chat. So I have put so many things into my 50% off clearance sale on eBay. And I have so many, like, everything is pretty much make an offer. Well, when it goes on 50% off sale, I don't want somebody to make an offer. It's already 50% off. This jacket that I've listed, brand new with tags, $120 tags, brand new with tags, and I don't know. So I sold it for $45 at 55% off. So figure out whatever that math is. So this was listed, and the person kept sending me offers and sending me offers. And I kept replying that it's already on sale. I'm not going to lower it anymore. It's a brand new with tags item. And so I kept denying it, not even countering, because I'm not going to counter, because I'm like, it's 55% off. Buy it for $45. So they did buy it. I think they countered twice, and I denied it, declined it with the same message. This weekend I got really tired of people making mess. Those one person, they offered me something 3 times. I kept countering, and I kept saying, no, it's already on sale, 50% off. That's the best I can do, blah, blah, blah. And then they would counter me again. And I finally went and blocked this one person. I'm like, listen, stop offering me, because I think the item was, let's say it was like $12 and 50% off. So it was normally 24, and I feel like 24 was a good price. When I price my stuff, I usually price a little on the high end, but it's still related to the comps. And so $12 is a pretty good deal, I feel. And so they sent me an offer for like $4. And I'm like, no, it's already 50% off. $12 is a good deal. And I don't say that, but that's what I'm thinking, right? So I just say my canned message. And then they countered at like $5. And then I said the same thing. Then they countered at like $6. And I'm like, no, block you. Block you. I don't even want you. You're not going to get it. All right, so here's this. It's probably going to go priority. I'm pretty sure it's heavy. 2XL. Oh, it's going to California if I remember right. Yes, 1.9. Pretty sure you're going to California. Oh, let me know when you have syrup to sell again. We love Tony and your maple syrup. Do I know you, C Rewind? Because I don't recognize your name. How do you know I do syrup and my husband's name is Tony and you love him? How do I know you? You must go by something else. I was going to say maybe you're the Texas Bandit, but he's in here. I'm not going to say his name because everyone was giving me a hard time over his name. Phil. Everyone was telling me I was calling him by the wrong name. Oh, I haven't used these for very long because I just put my hand right through a spider web to grab them. All right, they're going to go into a padded flat rate because it is going to Orange, California. Oh, never too old. Okay, Carlene, I know you. I know you. You changed your handle. That's funny. I almost changed my handle yesterday for this Yellow Brick Road. I almost changed it. I've been thinking about changing it because, even though it's not owned by Disney, Disney's been cracking down on a lot of people on Etsy. And when I started this channel, I always knew that at some point I am probably going to regret having this channel name because I just would, especially I probably at least need to change my my screen name icon because it clearly shows the lion, the Tin Man, and Scarecrow and Dorothy and all that. So I probably need to at least change that. It's not in the public rights yet and all that kind of stuff. So once it hits that, it's no big deal. But right now, yeah, it's trademarked and all that stuff. So I probably ought to change it. And I just don't know what I want to change it to. Thinking about just changing it to my name, but then you can spell my name wrong. Everybody spells my name wrong, really. So I'm thinking about, well, I probably shouldn't change it to my name. I want to change it to something that's easy. All right, purchase shipping label. So I'm kind of like not really sure what I want to do, but I have really been thinking about it a lot, especially in the last probably 6 months. I've been thinking about it a lot, especially since I wasn't doing a lot of like reselling per se. Especially last summer, I was doing more of like the KDP stuff and creating digital and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, that's not really reselling because I'm not like buying it to resell. I'm just creating it and selling it. So, okay, I'm going to pull a sticker. Thank you so much. He actually reached out to me today and said, when are you sending my item? There's a lot of picker flipper names, and I was actually kind of thinking about like having that like a picker name. Probably not a flipper, but I'm not really always a picker either. Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do. But I need to do something. I really feel like I need to do something. I feel old now, so looking for a new handle. You're rewinding. Oz by Florida Bomb is in the public domain. Oh, is it? Oh, but not the movie. So the book came out before the movie. I'm assuming that's what it was. So maybe I'm okay. Maybe that's why nobody's come after me. Plus, I'm not very big. A lot of times they don't go after somebody until they're big. So I sold this little travel organizer. Again, this is something that's on my 50% off. They sent me an offer and I did that canned message, and then they ended up going and paying the $9.50 for it. I did. So what I wish I could do is go into bulk edit and bulk edit based upon category, so I could pull up all of my items in the clearance and take off best offer. Now, I will say I have sent best offers to some of the stuff that's on clearance. If people put it in their watch list or their like list or whatever it's called for eBay, then I have gone in and sent them a 5% discount. And then I've put that, hey, this item's already on a great sale at 50% off. I thought I would, thank you for putting this on your watch list. Here's an extra 5% to hopefully, give you a better deal. And just remember, this is a limited time offer. So I always say that. So, because sometimes people will put something on their watch list and then I'll put it on sale at 50%, and they may not even realize that it was put on sale for 50% off. So by sending an offer, at least they get an email or a message if they've signed up for those to get that. Long series of books, many, all before 1927. Oh, okay. So maybe I'm okay using the name, but I probably really ought to change that whole. I just feel like I probably ought to change the graphic. Even though I paid somebody to create that. But yeah. What do you want, Pip? Do you want to go out? Huh? You want to say hi? Come here. They say that pets in videos. Come on. Pets in videos make more money. Say hi. Say hi, Pippi. Say hi to everybody. Say, I was watching a video. So he sits on the chair overlooking our little breakfast nook, and I got a bird feeder in the window that stuck to the window. And I have I took we have a deck, and I took the patio set and I pulled it to the window for the winter, and I've been putting birdseed on the table, and he sits there and cries at the birds and pounces at the window. I will say he has eaten 2 birds. I told my husband if he ever sees cardinal feathers, he is to clean them up so I never know that he has eaten a cardinal, right? Because I would not be happy. So this weekend, my in-laws were over Saturday night, and I took, there's some YouTube videos of birds, and I projected it on our big screen and our big TV. I think we have a 55-inch TV. And so he sat on the couch staring at that, and he was like watching it. And when the bird would fly off, he was going like this, like his head would jerk to look at the bird. But of course, he didn't see it when it flew off because it was off the screen. But he was entertained for a long time. So my husband said, we got to put that on for him when we go away, and he can watch the birds. All right. Do you want to go out? Pip, did you want to go out? Is that what you're crying for? Huh? You want to go out? Do you want to go out? All right. I'm going to put you back down. He is a horse. He is a horse. He is very heavy. So my daughter won't like to hear this, but he's not getting wet food. When I'm done the wet food that I've been feeding him, he's not getting any more. He has been so picky and not eating it, and then he'll eat it, then he won't eat it. Flavors that he used to love, he's now decided he doesn't like. And today I gave him seafood, and he usually really loves seafood. He ate a little bit, and then I was opening up a new bag of dry food because I'm like, oh yeah, he's all out of dry food. So I opened up a little bit of that. I was going to put, because he usually has a little bit of dry food that he'll munch on throughout the day, but he gets wet food morning and night. Well, he left his wet food and went right to the dry food. And I'm like, you know what? If you're just going to eat dry food from now on, I'm just going to do that because that makes my life so much easier. Okay, I got to find a box for this. I bet you, let me see. I might just polybag it because I think it might be first class. Well, this is going to New York, New York. Ooh, it's 14.6. Let me put that up there. 15.2. Might be a little, it might fit. Might fit. We'll try that. So yeah, we'll see if he'll if you'll be all right with just dry food. It definitely makes my life so much easier. It makes it so when we go out of town that someone to feed him, that they can come just every 2 days if need be. Because right now when we go, we have somebody here. Although I really would like to find somebody local that would like to come and be a house sitter. I mean, there's got to be some 20-something-year-olds that would love to get out of their mom and dad's house when we're traveling and come and house sit for us. But then they don't have to be with mom and dad. They can have the run of my house. But I got to know the person enough to do that. All right, $6 first class. It's going first class. They paid priority though. I've been doing that a lot lately, haven't I? Downgrading their shipping. But it gets there the 7th versus the 8th. And it's right here in New York. So I'm just going to ship it like this. These stupid things. Look at that. They're even sticking to my soda can. That's because I got a pile of them sitting on my desk. I call it soda. It's sparkling water. But isn't that really just what soda is anyhow? Flavoring or whatever. We call it soda. I haven't had it. We haven't had this stuff in our house in a long time, but this stuff from Walmart is so good. So good. But we actually, Tony and I were having a hard time losing weight and sticking to our eating plan. And we both kind of thought that perhaps that was the culprit. So I think it was in January. I'm trying to think of, Kendra, do you remember in December if we had this in the house or not when you were here at Christmas? I don't know if it was before then or not, but we pretty much took it out of the house for a while because we felt like it might be the culprit. All right, so J6 orange. J6 orange. Ooh, why does that say V? I don't think that's in V. Let me go check it out. J6. What, you want to go out? Let me ask. I need to check while I'm up. Come on. V. I don't think it's in. Oh, it is in here. I know I normally have this stuff pulled out before I go live, but I didn't do that today. So I got these 3 pens. So I bought, I don't know if you guys remember, 2 years ago, I was trying something a little new with my business, what's new? I'm always trying something new. And so these got an orange ribbon at the bottom. I bought all the different colors, and I've been selling them off in packs of 3. Very, very slow sellers. So this one sold on Etsy for $11.28 with shipping. Is total was $11.28. Cost me 96 cents. Yeah, I wouldn't do that again. They've been selling so slow. But I mean, they're kind of like a novelty item, and I thought like the pink ones, in October they would be a hit, but they weren't. I gotta go do something for work, but I'll be back. See you, Kendra. She went to a flower show yesterday. Wondering how that went. I'd like to go to a flower show. I thought about going over and going with her. Let's see, 2 ounces. Additional info required. Oh, I might not be able to ship it from Etsy. Nope, nope, now it comes on. I guess because I had to put in the stuff. $3.75 to ship that. So my friends all got together yesterday in Vermont for a friend's funeral. I didn't end up going. I decided not to go. I think I talked to you guys about this last week. I was really torn. I just don't feel every time. So, I mean, I'm still crying a lot. I'm still having chest pains occasionally, especially after an emotional event. So I decided that it probably wouldn't be best for me to go to this funeral for a friend whose mother died. It's really the stress of not being there has been tough, but I don't think it's as tough as if I would have gone. So I sent him a message this morning. I feel really bad. I feel really bad that I'm not there. But in the long run, I just pretty much had to do what was best for my health. And right now, who would have thought? Like, I don't know. I'm just still like in awe with the fact that somebody can have a heart attack from stress. Like, it just really surprises me. Okay, I was just looking to see if I had put that this was used. So I sold this Grandmother Remembers. It's not used as in written in, but the book definitely shows some wear. Like there's a mark back here, right here. So it's just not like it definitely shows shelf wear. It actually looks like it's got some food on it. How did I not see that? I'm looking for my Lysol wipes. I'm gonna wipe this because I don't, but I didn't put that it was new or used on this. I probably should have put something. I feel like I should have put something on Etsy. And I didn't put anything. So I'm gonna clean this. It looks like something splattered on it. I picked it up at a garage sale. It had not been written in. But now I'm like, yeah, I don't think it happened here. I should zoom in on the photos. Sometimes I'll do that. I'll be like, did I really miss that? I'll zoom in on the photo. I'm like, oh yeah, you missed it. Yeah, sometimes I'm just like, get the pictures done so I can get stuff listed and I get the crap out of here. And sometimes I just don't pay attention as much as I probably should. I'm sure we all can relate to that, huh? There's times when we just do things a little faster than we probably should. I kind of how many times when I was doing clothing, I'd miss a stain or even a pinhole or something like that. When I go to package it, I'm like, how did I miss that when I was listing it? Okay, let me just dry it. This is real life, right? This real life stuff we have to deal with. Talking about that, I got the bill for my first, hey, good morning, Jen, by the way, stress test without the dye. It's sitting at $350 after insurance. Isn't that horrible? My daughter had a MRI. She went for a hearing test. She's been having some issues with her hearing, and she went for a hearing test, and they said we should get an MRI. And she's got Obamacare because her employer doesn't offer health care, so she's got it through the whatever that system's called. And yeah, I think it was $2,000 or something she had to pay. It was really expensive. Like, that's a lot of money for, I think at the time, was she 29 or 30 when she had it done? I can't remember. She's 30 now, but I can't remember if it was before or after she turned 30. But yeah. I was talking to my sister-in-law. Do you know, you look at your explanation of benefits and it's always, I'm always in awe, which by the way, I got all that off. So it's nice and clean. I'm always in awe when you look at so my husband has been going to the doctors a lot for the VA. Oh, he just had surgery on his hand. And the VA bills, so the hospital bills the VA, and the VA, when you look at your explanation, it says that the surgery was $6,000, but the VA will pay $760. Your responsibility is zero. And I'm just like, man, I even said to my husband, I said, if Kendra had that surgery, she would have to pay $6,000. But the VA is only paying 764 or whatever it was. I'm like, that is just not fair. If you don't have insurance, or like Kendra's got to meet a deductible, so she's got to pay that large amount out of pocket. And most of the time, the people with those high deductibles are because they don't have insurance, or they have like insurance not provided by their employer, where like Kendra had to go out and find something on the market, and it's expensive. It is so expensive. And most of the time, if you're at a job that doesn't provide you with good benefits, it doesn't pay you very well either. All right, I need to get a bag. A bag for the book. I think I'm going to put it in the bag and then bubble wrap it, because I don't know if it would fit in the bag. I don't think it would fit in the bag with the bubble wrap. So I'm going to do that and then put some bubble, just so the ends don't get damaged. Try not to ding it up too much. At least this can go medium mail, so that's good. Assuming they paid medium mail. Oh, I gotta get my I'm not gonna use eBay tape. Let me grab, I gotta get the tape I bought. I think it's in here. I thought I'd show you a deal too that I just got. We stopped at Home Depot the other day, and they had these on clearance. So if you need one, it's a filtration system for your house. You put it under your sink. Normally $119. This was on clearance for $30. So they had two at my store. I picked them both up. I'm planning on reselling them, of course. We have a filtration system that comes into our house, and then it's filtered again at the refrigerator. So I said, I don't think we really need it, because I don't really use the sink water for anything but coffee, probably, to drink. Where did I put my other? I mean, I got this, but I don't have another dispenser. What did I do with that? I thought I had one over here. What did I do with it? Did I move it? Did you fall? Oh my gosh, my office is such a mess. It is so dirty. I'm so disorganized. It is really stressful when I'm down here because it's so disorganized. Okay. Just gonna cut this. Put it right there for now. Guess I could take off the eBay. I know I just saw it's like a really big one. I know I just saw it recently. I don't remember what I did with it. Ripping this. I just need a little piece to tape the bubble wrap down. Okay. And then I got this piece. My desk. I'm telling you, the crap that's on my desk. It's so messy. It's so messy. Yeah, I probably ought to. I was like, oh, I should take some time today and work on my desk. But then I'm like, it's nice out. I should go out. There's always an excuse to not be in the office. All right. Hey, anytime picker. Deductibles are crazy. I'm sorry, no, I'm behind. I'm having been really reading. They are. I feel so bad for her every time she tells me how much it's costing her. Chad has insurance that the company pays for, but if you use it, it costs you. Oh, it's just crazy. So it's mediocre insurance. Yeah, I wish that her boyfriend's got insurance and she can get on his. His employer lets her get on it, even though they're not married. So I've been kind of pushing them towards that, but for some reason that hasn't happened. So I don't know. I try not to get in their business, but it's very hard sometimes as a mother not to get in your child's business. I'm kind of at a standstill. My primary says a cardiologist won't do anything because images of heart look good. That's so weird. It's kind of like me. So next Monday, I go for my echocardiogram again on my heart. So I've been kind of dealing with this so they were telling me that my heart rate when I'm hooked up to a monitor, it kind of goes up and down and then it will drop and then it goes up and down, up and up and up and down, up and down, up and down, then it will drop. But it doesn't drop often enough where they were concerned with it at the hospital. But she said that sometimes they'll put somebody on a monitor to kind of keep an eye out. She goes, can you feel like your heart fluttering? I said no. But then lately I've been like, I wonder if that's that weird feeling I've been getting. I wonder if that's my heart fluttering because I feel like something's weird with my chest, but I just don't know. Like, I don't know what that is. What was this? 1 pound, 8 ounces. So I got to talk to my doctor about that. Be like, I don't know. Like, I've been getting this weird feeling, but I don't, what's a heart flutter? What's that mean? I don't know what that feels like. I don't know what I'm supposed to say that is. So I should make sure. Okay, yeah. So they paid $5.99 shipping. So yeah, I'm gonna go. Definitely gonna go medium mail. I hope they can figure out what's going on. It's just so weird. It's weird when something goes wrong or like you don't pass a stress test. Well, then what could it be? I don't know. I guess they back up. Like when I went to the hospital, they did all these other tests to try and figure out what was causing all my problems the second time I went after my heart attack. And they were concerned because, they knew that my symptoms that I was talking about, they knew they were real. And my blood pressure was really high and they saw this weird stuff on the screen, but they couldn't figure out what was causing it. What do you do? I don't know. It's frustrating. I'm sure it's probably frustrating for them too. I have an echo scheduled for beginning of April just to look at my leaky valve. So that bill will be fun too. Yeah. My mom was having a lot of issues. So being in her late 70s, she started bleeding from her vagina. And she's like, it's been years since I've had a period or anything. She went through so many medical tests. And for somebody who only has Medicare, they don't cover a lot. And so she was paying so much out of her pocket. And they're like, they did an x-ray, they did a CAT scan, then they did an ultrasound. Um, and still they were just like, I don't know, they couldn't figure out what was going on. I think they did 2 ultrasounds, if I remember right. They did 2 of them. They did one time where they went on her belly, and then the other one they had to go through vaginally. That was all last summer. So we were a little worried that maybe something was wrong with her, like cancer or something, but that was when her dumbass doctor, her family doctor, told her she had cancer. She went to him first, and he told her, you have cancer. That's what he told her. Without any testing, he says, you have cancer. He did a pap smear on her and said, you got cancer. Pap smear came back fine. And she went to the gynecologist, and they're like, you don't have cancer. They said, let's do some tests first to find out. And then they came back and said, no, you don't have cancer. I'm like, who tells? This is how dumb her doctor is. You guys know I've complained about her doctor so many times. So I called her doctor's office in March last year and said, we need to meet. We need to get my mother better from her depression, from the grief, from my dad dying 5 years ago, or 4 years ago last year, and it was just too much. I'm like, we need to get new medication, something. Like, she's just so depressed. She would still go and do some things, but not on a regular basis. Like, maybe once every 3 months I'd get her out of the house to do something, and it was a struggle. And I was like, we got to do something. So he's like, okay, I'll meet with you and your mom. So we both went in, and he added another antidepressant to her medication. Um, he was on his phone while we were in there. He was checking messages, and I sat there looking, and I'm like, he was like texting somebody. It had nothing to do with my mom. And oh my gosh, I just can't stand the guy. I just, I was not nice to him. I wish I was more not nice. So, hey, good morning, Maggie. Hey, Bonnie. So I ended up, so she got what I'd asked, and he'd put her on some another medication and stuff. And so I'm like, all right, great. We'll give that a try. Well, she went back to him 2 weeks later, and I was on my road trip to North and South Carolina and Georgia with our RV. We were gone for a month, and she went back to him 2 weeks later while we were gone. And so she was doing a follow-up of depression. And at that time is when he goes, anything else you want to talk to me about? And she says, well, yeah, a few weeks ago I had some bleeding. And that's when he said, well, you got cancer. Like, who tells somebody who is there for depression, for severe depression enough, right, that you got cancer without doing any testing? If I had the medical proof or all this stuff or whatever, that guy, I would do whatever I could to make him lose his license, because he should not be practicing medicine. He is not a good doctor. Not only does he have bad bedside manner, but he's just not a good doctor. I shouldn't say he has good bedside manner, because honestly, my mother loved him because he socialized, and that's all she did was socialize with him, because he wasn't treating her medically. All right, I gotta go grab a budget and this thing. This thing. You can't see, but you'll see when I go grab it. Let me just see where it's at, because P1 question mark. What's that mean? What does P1 question mark mean? I think it means it's in P1, but what's the question mark? I mean, it must mean I didn't know how much it costs. So dream big and budget. And the budget is in that same area, I think. I think they're right here's budget. Dream big. Right. These are from my Etsy store, so yeah, very unprofessional. So unprofessional. You have no idea the things. When my dad was dealing with his Alzheimer's, like, I've been dealing with this guy for like 10 years. Oh, he's just, this year was the year my mom was getting a new doctor. This was the year. When I was bringing her to the doctors the day that I found her deceased, her doctor was on vacation. And on Monday, I told her, I said, I'm so excited you're going to see a different doctor. There was somebody else that she was going to be seeing that day. I was really excited, really excited. Yeah, I think she didn't like it that I would bitch so much about her doctor, but man, I didn't like him. All right, so I sold this budget planner, which I bought a ton of these. Probably got about 40 of them on hand. They are such a slow seller. Thought they would have sold quicker a year ago. I bought them all a year ago. And yeah, still got them. Still got lots of them. I saw one here, one there. They were at Walmart. That's Pen and Gear's Walmart brand. See, find us at Walmart. There's no pricing on it, but yeah, if somebody knows Pen and Gear, they'll know it's Walmart. And it goes This is going to California. Off my fingers. All right, 6 ounces. 6. I'm tempted tomorrow to go to another Hobby Lobby. So I went to a Hobby Lobby that was 2.5 hours this way, and I want to go to the one that's 2 hours that way. 2.5 hours. They're both literally, I think, a mile difference from them. So, you know, like Mom and I would be talking about going sourcing, and I'd say, well, do you want to go to Watertown or Plattsburgh? And she's like, I don't know, which one's closer? And I'm like, Mom, literally like a mile difference. So either one. So I'm thinking about heading out to that one to just go and see what they got, pick up some of the Disney items, because I think that's where the money's at for reselling. Those are the ones that have been selling the fastest. I worked on yesterday, finally getting everything else listed. So I sold this journal. It's just a lined page. This is kind of my, this is the stuff I get excited about selling. There's not much money in it, I can tell you that, and things are slow sellers. This I probably have had for 3 years, and it finally just sold. For a while there, I was worried about telling people what I was selling, and now I'm kind of like, oh, you want to sell it? Go for it. You probably won't last long, because you'll be like, I'm not hanging on to stuff for 3 years. Yeah, it's just really slow. What was that, 5 ounces? Yeah, 5 ounces. They're just slow sellers. I just bought a bunch of stuff in this wheelhouse again that I was taking pictures of and listing, but I don't know. I just enjoy selling it. You guys ever do that? Source things that you know don't sell very good, but you just enjoy selling them? So you know they're kind of long tail. And the thing is, they're long tail without a lot of money. Like, you're not making a lot of money. I don't mind long tail if I'm going to make $100 on something. But this is long tail and I make like $3. So that's not very good. Oh, geez. I had a doctor tell me that I had AIDS once with no testing. Worst 2 weeks of my life waiting on that test to come back. I'll never forget that. That is crazy. Yeah, I had AIDS testing after I had given birth to AJ. I had to have a blood transfusion, and they were saying how even though they test the blood, there's a possibility that AIDS wasn't detectable at the time. So I had to get tested. But yeah, that's why do doctors do that? Create that unnecessary, like, worried. They shouldn't tell you you have AIDS. Obviously, they should test and say, well, there's a possibility, but they shouldn't be saying, yeah, you have it. Like, if he would have just said to my mom, and I said to her, are you sure you didn't misunderstand him? And she goes, no, because he literally went through, these are the treatments for your cancer, right? You can have chemotherapy, like, he started going through all these treatments. Like, why would you even go through? You shouldn't even be talking about treatment until she's been diagnosed. Like, go through the test for diagnosing. Oh my gosh, I cannot stand that guy so many. Like, you have no idea how much I don't like him. I don't know if I ever ran into him. If I ever ran into him in a dark alley without any witnesses around, it would be tough. But yeah, if I ever just like ran into him in like a grocery store or something, which I don't go to the grocery store anymore. Now I do grocery pickup all the time. But yeah, I would probably, I might be tempted to say something. Yeah. I mean, I call him out in my videos. I say his name in my some of my videos. I've actually said who he is and where he works. We have Medicare and a supplement plan. We only pay the low Medicare deductible once per year. After that, we pay nothing. Was so thankful when my husband had cancer surgery over a year ago. We didn't what? Did you say more? We'll see another message. My mom had WellCare for her supplement plan. It was a no pay premium. She didn't have to pay anything. I got her to switch from United Healthcare, which she was paying like $250 a month for, but was getting really hardly any benefits. It was the best decision for her to switch. Absolutely. It was good. WellCare was really good. She actually had a meeting with WellCare the day she passed. When I was driving home from her house, WellCare had called because there was a nurse coming to her house that was going to be going over all her medications with her, just kind of being like a caseworker with her. And I was excited for that because maybe they would convince her she needed a new doctor. Because I'm telling you, every medical professional she saw, nurses, doctors, wherever, when we would go to Vermont when she had her kidney stone, they were like, you need a new doctor. When she went to the hospital here because she fell and hurt her leg and she thought maybe she had broken it a few years ago, um, the nurse there told her, you need a new doctor. Like she's had medical professionals tell her that. So I was hoping this would be the year. It is crazy, Roman. I was tested for mono and that was negative. So he said it's probably AIDS. What the heck? And back then, an AIDS test took 2 weeks. Yeah, my AIDS test in '94 took 2 weeks. I was out of my mind crazy because I was very sick, and so I had myself dead and gone. Because back then, like even the AIDS has come a long way. It's not as much of a death sentence now as it was back then because they've learned so much. But gosh, I can just imagine, especially if you're sick, trying to figure out what's wrong with you, and then he says it's AIDS. What was it? I think now that stress was making my physically sick. They ever find out what was wrong? I had mono in college. My first 2 weeks of college, I missed because I was sick with mono. I think those planners make you happy. They do. I love my planners. That's everything right here in P. Those are all planners, journals, stickers, paper good, like any of that stuff I really like. So I've been really thinking, and I wish I could find somebody who does this. I'm not sure they would want to talk about it because it would be like, it's almost like, sometimes people are like, why do you share what you do? Because somebody can just copy you and do that same thing. But since we've been doing since mom and I were doing junk journals, now obviously just me, which I haven't done any because I tried one day and I just was physically sick from it. But getting into the world of ephemera and the people who use ephemera, do you realize that we were talking about the Wizard of Oz, and then once things hit 100 years, it becomes public domain, that people will take the postcards that they might find and cleaning out like a storage unit or whatever. If you take those postcards, old photos, all of that stuff, and scan it, if it's 100 years old and you scan it, you can sell those as digitals on Etsy. There are people that are doing like doing even print on demand on the KDP. Well, it's not actually KDP, but because it's not digital, it's it's called Amazon KDP, I think. Is it called KDP? Well, whatever it is, on Amazon, where I've been making some of my books, you can have you can take those, scan those photos, create pages. People have been doing that, and create a book with 10 pages, 20 pages that people can then they call them fussy cut. So they can just fussy cut or cut out the images and they'll use those in their junk journals or whatever, their mixed media art and all that kind of stuff. Like there's a lot of people who are doing that. So I've been thinking about getting into that world of maybe going on eBay and buying or whatnot or wherever else and buying some of this old ephemera and using it as digital by scanning it and selling the digital copy of it or creating these books of these digital copies. So I've been thinking about doing that. Because anything hands off is really once you scan it, you can sell those things multiple times. Evil Tamara coming out. Yeah, I can be a not nice person when I get angry enough. Not very often though, but yeah, probably so. We have Blue Cross Advantage plan. Yeah, we have oh for Bonnie. Yeah, she had wellness. We have Blue Cross Blue Shield for our normal insurance. I'm really happy with it. But of course, you can have even Blue Cross Blue Shield, but it depends on which plan you're on. We're on the federal employees plan, so it's not so bad. Yes, we have WellCare too. Yeah, that's at Mahead. The WellCare PPO Open, it was called, or something like that. Very happy with them. Although, man, when I tell you she's deceased and you even send a letter to me, to her, saying that her plan's been canceled because she had passed away, don't keep calling. Her phone rings every day, and almost every day it's WellCare calling. I'm like, why? Don't let people know. Stop calling. The amount of scam calls, emails, texts, and phone calls that my mother was getting on a daily basis is unbelievable. Because I've got her phone now, her text messages go off constantly, and it's all scams saying you won something, there's a problem with your order, click this link. So many of those. They all come from, well, I shouldn't say all, the majority of them come from an email address to her text. So it's a text message, but it's an email texting her, which is, I don't know how that happens, but it does. So I block it and report it as junk. And then she gets a ton of junk emails, which I do too, but I don't, they just go into a junk folder. But the way her email is set up with her cable company is it doesn't go into a junk. So you have to see it all and go through it. And then her phone rings all the time, and a lot of it I don't think is legitimate. So I don't answer it, but they don't leave a message. So I'm on TRICARE Military, which is not great, but I'm 2 years away from Medicare. Yeah, so my husband next month turns 60 years old, and he finally gets to start collecting his military retirement. So he was active duty military, transitioned to the National Guard. He worked full time for the National Guard, but as a federal employee, even though he was wearing a uniform. A lot of people don't know that just because they're in a uniform doesn't mean they're considered military during the day if you're in the National Guard or the Reserve. So he was a federal employee wearing a uniform, but on the weekends he was military. And so he finally gets to collect his military retirement when he turns 60. So next month. So yay, we have some additional income coming in. And we get TRICARE. So even though he left the military back in 2014, was medically, well, he wasn't medically discharged from the military, but he was medically let go of his federal job. So he gets Social Security disability because he was injured because of his military, which is really weird. It's really, it's just so messed up. Messed up. They should just make them all military, period. But anyway, he finally gets to collect it and we get TRICARE. But so many people told me when I worked for the military, we employed a lot of retired military and full-time technicians. And so many of them told us that you want to keep your, like, Blue Cross Blue Shield. You don't want to just take TRICARE as your primary, keep Blue Cross Blue Shield. So we are going to we decided we'll keep the Blue Cross Blue Shield and we'll have TRICARE. So he will have TRICARE, Blue Cross Blue Shield, and the VA. The VA he doesn't have to pay anything for his health care. He's really lucky, honestly. He's really lucky. Being a disabled veteran, he definitely gets taken care of very well. I will say that is probably one of the best things that I saw come out of Donald Trump's presidency is he made some changes in the VA system that made it remarkably so much better. I mean, we would call when we lived in Vermont, we were calling Bernie Sanders' office and having his liaison for the VA jump in many times because it was taking the VA so long for things. Now my husband will call because we don't live next to a VA facility. It's 3 hours to Syracuse. He's still connected to the Vermont one, which is actually 5 hours to the VA in Vermont. But he goes to 3 hours away is the VA clinic that he still is part of. And yeah, he just makes a phone call and he can get in within days to see like a specialist. It's just really, really good. But he can go to the emergency room, like any of that stuff. And I think he has like 48 hours to call them once he goes to the emergency room. So we've been really happy with the VA. And I've been very happy with Blue Cross Blue Shield. Advantage plans aren't good. If you have hospital stuff, you have to pay 20% of the bill each time. Yeah, mom was she paid a percentage. Her hospital stay, she was in the hospital for a week, and it cost her $750. So that's a lot of money for somebody who's living on Social Security. But overall, for being in the hospital for a week was really not that bad, especially for the amount of testing she had done. Um, and she had they had to drain. She had an infection in her knee, and they had to drain that, and all that. So yeah, so that's not too bad. Uh, we never found out, but I was sick all summer that year with high fevers. God, I really hope they can figure out what's going on with you this time. I think it was a very bad virus from a stressful time in my life. It's amazing what stress can do on. I know you've been under some stress. So I wonder if that's playing a role in what's going on now. I really think stress can really, really do havoc. I'm going to go for a walk today because I think that stress can play a role. And I think getting outdoors, especially today with the sun, I think it'll make a big difference, even though it's still kind of cool out. What is it? Well, it's 30 out right now. Well, it's too cold for me to go for a walk. Hubby is having hand surgery this week. Our cost is only $125. Yeah, that's not bad. My husband just had the tendon cut right here on his hand. You know what's really weird? Can you see? Oh, it's not as bad today. Isn't that weird? See that little dot right there? That was over a month ago when they did my catheterization, my heart catheterization. They went in right there. They used to go in your groin. Now they go in right here in your wrist. So much easier. So my husband had his surgery and it didn't cost anything because he with the VA. I tell you, it's really, really been remarkable. I think the stress lowered my immune, so I was ill all summer. Oh, it stinks, especially being sick in the summer. When you live up here in the North Country, or not North Country, but North where we have to deal with winters, you don't want to be sick in the summer. I would bet if you live down south, you'd probably choose to be sick in the summer because you can stay in where it's air conditioned. Definitely sounds like some kind of immune disorder. Yeah. That's just weird. A lot of times, like I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, did a lot of reading about that a long time ago. I do not have it, but lived thinking I had it for 20 years, almost 20 years. I thought I had MS. I was doing injections every week, like a bunch of stuff. And did a lot of work and realized that some of the autoimmunes that when with MS, you just get a cold or anything that is just not normal, like illness, and then your body, instead of attacking whatever it is, it was attacking other parts of your body and stuff. It was kind of interesting when I was reading all about that. When I was 30 is when I got diagnosed. Lost vision in one of my eyes, optic neuritis. I think that's what it's called. I had lost my job and we had 3 small kids and my ex wasn't making much money. It was so awful and stressful. Oh, yeah. Glad that went away. Hopefully you're getting your stress under control now. So whatever's going on with you, having a way to reduce your stress can help. There was no help back then with utilities, food, so it was so stressful. Yeah, if you don't have money, like if you can't pay for. So I went to bingo on Saturday, and I said to the worker, she told me my total of how much it was for me to go to bingo, and I made a comment, and she goes, "That's not that bad," and then she said something about, well, it's cheaper than groceries. And I said, yeah, but groceries are a necessity to live. Playing bingo is not. As if you're using your grocery money to go to bingo, you shouldn't be at bingo, right? If you're walking into that casino at all and you need money for groceries or for your heat, utilities, whatever, don't walk in. And you know damn well, and that's what we were talking about. I'm like, there's people that are walking into this casino with $200 or maybe $500 that they need to pay their rent with, and they're hoping they could turn that 500 into 1,500 or 1,000 or whatever, double it. And because maybe they owe 1,500 for their rent, but they only have 500 and they're taking that chance. I'm like, no, take that 500 and save it. Better yet, take that 500 and go to the thrift store and flip something and make some money that way. It's just yeah, don't go to a casino. The casino will always win. In the long run, the casino will always win. Even though I had a winning year last year. But if you took all the other years prior to that and so far this year, the casino wins. I currently that will cause stress, and I actually currently on anxiety medication because of all the stress happening with me in the past. Oh, sorry about that, Roman. Yeah, it is crazy with stress. I need to get on something for stress. I think I need to get on an antidepressant. Actually, I'm really tired of crying. I'm hoping I can. I've been trying to change my mindset each day, and I feel like I do really well the first half of the day, but the second half of the day, it's weird. The smallest things that will trigger me to start crying. So I'm pretty sure probably have some form of PTSD. After watching something yesterday, I'm like, yeah, I think finding my mother was definitely traumatic. No food banks or assistance of any kind. It was sink or swim. Oh, that's too bad. Oh, there you go. My husband did the same. Worked for the Air National Guard as a civilian for the federal government wearing a uniform. Yeah, so that's what my husband did. When he was younger, we were really hoping he'd get an AGR job, which makes him be paid as the military. For those who don't know what I'm talking about, sure, Maggie does. But as he got older, uh, it was just better for him to stay in as a full time technician. So yeah, it's just when he would get on orders, like after 9/11, they activated his base. Um, so the Vermont Air National Guard was one of the first fighter jets to respond to 9/11. And my husband got activated, and he was activated for a whole year. So we got all those benefits. Like we didn't have to pay for our medical, and he got what they call BAH. So when you're in the military, they give you housing, which is BAH. H is for housing. And they also give you an allowance for food and all this other type of stuff. So he was getting all of those little extras, which were really nice. And when he deployed to Iraq and all the other places he went to over in the Middle East, he got all those benefits plus being in a war zone and stuff. So that was kind of nice getting all of that stuff. And then when he would come back and go back to his federal job, it's like, oh, now we have the deduction for health care again, and we have to we lost the benefits of the money to help towards the mortgage and all that. I mean, he still made good money, but he definitely made better money when he was activated. Um, he is on Medicare with TRICARE for life as a supplemental, which covers absolutely everything. Yeah, that's great. And my in-laws are on TRICARE for life, and I was talking to them about it. I mean, I hate still paying $400 for healthcare every month. So if there's a way we could get rid of that and just do the TRICARE, but I don't know. People keep telling us not to. Yeah, now there's assistance for stuff. But even if there's assistance for, if you need food and heat and all that, it's still kind of tough to get in to the right things. And um, yeah, sometimes it's just tough, or even knowing. And sometimes it's even pride. My mom was telling me how like they suffered a lot. When my brother was born, he's the oldest. He slept in a dresser drawer. Like they didn't have a crib or anything. They couldn't afford that type of stuff. He slept in one of their dresser drawers. That's what his crib was, a dresser drawer. And she goes, yeah, there was times that they wouldn't eat. They would go, they would have very, very little for food, and they would qualify for what back then was called welfare. I don't know what they call it now, but assistance, I guess. They would have qualified for that, but just pride. The pride was a big thing back then. Now I think people just go, and I know people who go into the food shelf and get food that clearly don't need it, really don't need it. This one person I can think of, yeah, she took so advantage of COVID and stuff. Ugh, makes me sick. People like that. It makes me not trust where I donate my money. We had to pay for preschool then too. Now there's tons of help with that. Oh, there's so much help. So much help here in New York. They want to even give more. Um, I'm sorry, I'm way behind, ain't I? My sister just had heart catheterization. The catheter got stuck in her vein, and her doctor said he has never had that happen. He said he stayed up all night researching it after her procedure. Wow. Oh my gosh. How scary that must have been. They give you some like happy juice so you don't realize what's going on. You're awake. Like I remember hearing him talking, and I remember feeling, and they mentioned that you might feel it go around the elbow. I kind of remember feeling something right here, but I don't really remember much. But I do remember him saying everything looks good. But I don't know if it was during it that he was saying it or after I woke up. Like I don't know. Um, TRICARE itself can be hit or miss. We live near a major metropolitan area, Philadelphia, so there's more doctors availability. I understand that in other areas of the country, it's not good at all. Yeah, we would be on TRICARE remote. We probably wouldn't even be on TRICARE. We would probably go with, well, I guess it's still TRICARE, but Martin's Point. I have a friend who is a rep for Martin's Point, and I trust him. I trust him, and he says Martin's Point is really good. I didn't know your mom except for in chat here. Yeah. So mom, Linda Robinson would come into my chat every now and then. And haven't met you in person, but your mom adds a smile to my face as I see the yellow box with a sunflower and bees she made. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I got so much of her stuff. I got to sell that whole H9 right there. Those are all her journals she's made. This weekend, I'll be going through some of her craft stuff, and I know that she's got a lot of completed crafts that I'll be bringing back here, and that'll be my focus for a while. I sit to my kitchen window sill so I see it every day. She loved making that. She loved bumblebees, butterflies. She loved making all this stuff. It could have been catastrophic. It took them 2 hours to pull it back from her heart to her wrist where it broke. Wow. That is scary. Yeah, it could have been if it would have broke off. I was watching I think it was Chicago Fire from last week maybe, and they responded to a call where a doctor was doing surgery in his office, and he ended up being drunk, but he was doing something where he was going through the vein in the ankle. I don't know what he was doing. They said it, but I didn't know what they were talking about. But something broke off, and they were talking about how it was traveling towards her heart, and they think that it was close where they had to put her on her side. I guess it would go into your lung too, was the other thing they were talking about. She would have a um not an aneurysm, an embolism, I think is what they were saying, from that. So yeah, it's like that's scary. All right, I still got some more stuff to package. Probably ought to get that done on so I don't forget. I do have something on Macari, which is OO, and I have. Oh, I have this window open, so let me just put this. I put it down in my description. But here's a link if anybody's interested in reading about the reseller rally. Cincinnati Picker puts it on. I don't know if there's other people that put it on with him, but I think he's the main one. And yeah, I'm going to that in September. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to go. I see that you are going to the rally. Oh, are you going to be there? Yeah, I'm really excited. This will be my first like reselling thing. Um, I'm hoping to really like, I don't know, just to see people in person and make those connections and all that. I think will be really good. Yeah, I'm really excited. I'm really excited about it. I think I'll probably telling Tony we'll probably head down on Wednesday, get there Thursday, because it'll take at least 2 days to get there. Because normally when we go like to Tennessee, we usually spend the night near Erie, Pennsylvania, and that's usually like a whole full day's drive, and then we'll go from Erie to Cincinnati. So yeah, so that should be good. All right, I gotta go grab a Lionel train puzzle. you're right here. You know, I've talked about the way I set stuff up in my totes and storage and inventory and all that. And majority of my stuff is very random, and it doesn't have any rhyme or reason. Except for if you're in a pea tote, then it's going to be something that is planner. Sorry, I didn't realize this was so long. It's going to be a planner, stickers, journal, notebook, all that kind of stuff. It's going to be in there. And then in OO is where I have all my puzzles and games. So those are the two areas that I really keep the same theme. Everything else is just random. Like if you were to pull out F6, tote F6, it's going to be random, whatever's in it. So there, I sold this Lionel puzzle on Mercari, brand new, sealed, $24 plus shipping. Let's put you in one of these. Just heard some noise. Sounded like the cat. I think he might be upstairs on the porch, trying to let me know he wants to come in. Usually he comes down to these windows and scratches on the screen. Or he was jumping up. My husband may have let him in. He may have been jumping up at the birds in the window. I bet you that's what he was just doing. Let's put one of these in. These big air pillows. That'll keep that from sliding around. So it's your second time going. Are you, and your name's Roman, right? I've heard people say hi, Roman, when you come in. I don't think I've ever, I feel like I probably have never watched your channel. I think I probably said that before and I never went back. I really need to go back and look. Maybe I did. I'm going to go right now and make sure I'm following your channel. Anytime picker. Sometimes I'll be like, oh yeah, I'm going to do that after the show, and then I don't end up doing it. Oh yeah, I am subscribed. All right, let me turn on my bell. My bell notification. Let me look at some of your videos here. For those who are not following Anytime Picker, there you go. I'll put a link to your channel. Oh, you haven't put very many videos out. A day ago. Oh, so you've been doing like, oh, so you're like me and mostly do lives. That's why. I was under your videos. So you're not very many like pre-recorded. That's like me. I'm almost always doing lives. I don't do very many pre-recorded anymore. I really should though. It seems to be... Oop. My internet's blurping, isn't it? I just saw a blurb on the screen. All right, view and print. My label. Good old Mercari. Got to play around with the label. He goes live from the bins. Oh, so all right. Well, I just added you to I just added notifications. So that's probably why I haven't seen any videos. If you're mostly just doing lives, and if I'm not getting notified, I'd have to see it in my feed and then click on it. And honestly, I don't feel like I really go to YouTube very often to find a video to watch. It's usually from my notifications, especially lately. I've been doing all that TikTok live stuff. Been watching those. Used to do Whatnot, but I'm finding it's hard for me to find stuff. I don't really want to buy anything, so I haven't really been doing Whatnot. Used to do Clubhouse all the time. I used to like going in there and listening, but I haven't done. Ah! Damn it! It's a FedEx label. Ugh. All right, it's got to come out of this. This is Macari. They pay for the label, and I must have chose FedEx because it was cheaper. Therefore, can't use this box. I miss your travel time chit chats. I like doing those because I like doing them. I haven't been doing them lately because my tires make so much noise. So I've been not doing those. But I also haven't been going anywhere much lately. That's part of it. I think the last grouping of them so I'm going to bubble wrap this and I'm just putting it in a poly bag and mailing it that way. So I don't have to go hunt for a box. Oh, wait a minute. This will probably fit in one of those UPS boxes. Right here. UPS, free UPS box. I've been trying, what's so funny is that, again, Scott, the bearded picker, I know I talk about him all the time. I kind of maybe have a little reselling crush on a guy or something. But he's been talking a lot about reading books and kind of like personal improvement, business improvement. And, I listened to that book, Die with Zero, and I talked about it on here. That was prior to him telling us we needed to read books, by the way. But I've been kind of trying to do that, listen to podcasts or something that maybe is going to help me either personally or professionally. Probably more personally lately. All right, let's see if this fits. Oh, yeah. And I'm going to stick the sticker on there. So I have been doing that and just trying to find those types of things. I probably ought to need to do a little more in that regard. So I really like watching Donatella on YouTube, but I can't follow her well and Whatnot. I'm not putting the app on my phone so I don't get notices. Yeah, it's hard if you don't put the app on the phone. She mostly does jewelry, doesn't she? I like following her more for the conversation and just seeing the goodies she finds, but I never know with people's Whatnots because I never get Yeah, I turned off notifications on Whatnot because I was getting so many. Okay, I probably ought to stick some bubbles back in there. So I was getting notifications like all the time. So I turned off notifications, and I think if I don't get notified, I just don't even think to go to Whatnot that often anymore. My mother used to order so much from online places. I'm really good. I'm already starting to miss the amount of air bubbles I used to get from her. This is too big. This air bubble is too big. I'm just not going to put anything in it. The thing though is you can't enter giveaways on your computer. You have to do it from the phone. So that you're really limited with Whatnot if you don't have it on your phone. I got it on my phone. So I don't mind it, but the problem is, and I even have TikTok, and I know there's a lot of people who don't do TikTok. I don't care. Chinese want to know where I am. I don't really give a rat's ass. Listen, Siri, I'll talk about something and Siri will start showing me ads about it. So it's not any different than if you literally have a smartphone, you've already given away so many rights. All right, I gotta find the ads. I really gotta find that other dispenser. What did I do with it? Just want to tape this. I know I have an Amazon order too. I got a package. I keep an eye on the time. Are we 11 o'clock? Yeah, we're good. We're good. I'm good with the time. Okay, so now I got to go to FedEx. Although I will tell you, because it has a USPS tracking on here, my post office will take this. So if I go to FedEx, though, that means I got to go to Walgreens. I'm not opposed to going to Walgreens. Maybe I'll go see what kind of deals they got. I feel like sourcing. I got to go do something because it's nice out. Just like the form. Yeah, do you know? So if you live in Ohio, you cannot do whatnot without a license. You have to have an auctioneer's license now. Supposedly, somebody said that. I was talking to somebody, and they were talking to one of the authors of the bill in Ohio, and they were saying that like that's not the intent of the bill, but it is the reality, right? So there's always that gray area of a bill, and depending on, even if you authored it and you wanted it to be a certain way, there's still that possibility of whoever's interpreting it to interpret it in a wrong way. Roman, that's you. Yeah, do you live in Ohio? Getting sucked in again on whatnot. I know, Carlene, you used to be on there. You used to tag me. I wonder who won that, the car. I wonder who won that car. What is it? Boombox. Not bump box. They were giving a car away during the Super Bowl. Let me just see. Poshmark. Let me make sure I don't have anything. Nope. Everything's been delivered. All right. Poshmark, Macari. I know I do have an Amazon. I don't think I have Bonanza. I should check. Oh, you're in Cleveland. Well, geez, look at that. Cleveland rocks. Cleveland rocks. Do you know Drew Carey? Did you go to school with Drew Carey? You're probably younger than him. All right, I gotta log in to Amazon. Oh, you're sort of neighbors. Yeah, because he's not that far if he's near Cleveland. Because you're not far from Cleveland. Because you're close to Erie. So we like to stay at there's a casino that's close to Erie, right on the interstate. Right on 91. It's like a French name. We're going to be staying there next month for the night. Hold on. Orders, manage orders. I haven't had an Amazon order in a really, really, really long time. All right, Captain Marvel. Let me go grab one. Oh, I think I moved it. Where did I move you to? Get this one. Captain Marvel. So this is a do not buy. This is a non-bolo. So these are Captain Marvel wall decals. They had them at the Dollar Tree 4 or 5 years ago, and I got a bunch of them. Sent them to Amazon, hence this. So they're like a long strip, and I boxed them all up and sent them in like this because, yeah, you don't want to send them in not like this. They're going to be all wrinkled. And some of the feedback from them was people were getting them damaged. So I took the time and the money to do all of this. They didn't sell. So I had to pull them all back, pay for that. And I sold this one for $7.85. Relisted them Facebook, FBM, so merchant fulfilled. So I paid $1. That was back when it was $1 at the Dollar Tree. I should say $1.08 because I had to pay taxes. 2 ounces. 2 ounces. And the cheapest is to go UPS ground. UPS ground is $3.49 for this. Now, I would love to go UPS ground because it's cheaper, but it's $3.59 for me to go first class, and so much easier for me to drop it off at the post office because my UPS does not have a service counter. So I go in and I randomly just leave it wherever. Like there's just no one there. So it's where the trucks come and go out of and get like whatever. So you go in the garage and you just literally leave it somewhere and hope they see it and find it. Or you got to go to the UPS store, which is in town, and there's bad parking. It's a pain to get in and out of. It's a pain to get into just because of the parking. I'm like, why don't they really need to relocate where it's just better parking. But so for 10 cents discount, first class it will be. I will pay 10 cents to bring it to the post office because I'm already going there. I literally pull right up to the door. And why did you just pause in your printing? Listen, Munbian, I haven't talked about you much lately. Why did you not print? Munbian. Oh, it just stopped. It stopped printing. Maybe I'll turn you off. Let me turn you off. And then turn you back on. And see if you will print it. No. All right. Now I got to... Well, that's weird. Did that just open? It didn't work. Let me try printing again. Print. All right, let's print you again. Oh. Print. Print. Hey, this is going to Fort Drum, which is right down the road. I say right down the road. A couple hours. Watertown. It's where I go sourcing. You know what I find funny is when I go sourcing. So let's say I go to like Rochester and I'm on the hunt for something specific and I buy everything there is in all the stores in Rochester. And then I come home and I list them and then I sell one to somebody in Rochester. I'm like, yep, I just bought them all. I like that. People don't like that. That's what people yell at resellers for. All right, so let me see. I know I'm missing something down. I don't think it's Downs. Most of YouTubers have the same names on Whatnot. Yes, Drew Carey is like 100 years older than me. I think he's my age. I'm 54. Let me know. I'll drive to meet you and buy you dinner. I would love to. Let me find out what's the name of that. I'm going to look it up. Maps, Google. Maps, Google. And then let's just go all the way over to there. Which I got to do that today. Oh, it's I-90. Did I call it something else? Buffalo. Go by Buffalo. Okay, here we go. Zoom in. Zoom. Zoom. Somebody's probably already said the name of it as I'm zooming. Uh-oh. Am I in the wrong state? Is that in Ohio or was it in Pennsylvania? Was it in Pennsylvania? Hold on. I think it's in Ohio. But now it's got me wondering. It's not coming up. Oh, that's because I'm not on 90. Wait a minute. Where'd 90 go? Where'd 90 go on my map? Oh, here. It is in Ohio. Did you somebody already call it? It's called Presque Isle something. If it's not a blizzard. I hope not. Last year when we left, in April. We had a blizzard going down 81 through like Wilkes-Barre and Hazleton, that area of Pennsylvania. It was so bad. It was so bad. And Hazleton is called Hazleton because it's so hazy. No, it's like the fog is ridiculous going through that area. Couldn't see it right in front of you, and then it was snowing on top of it. It was so bad. It's nice in there, but I don't get in the bathing suit. What? Come on, get in a bathing suit. I tried to go on the taller slides. What are you talking about? Oh, the Splash Lagoon. Oh, yeah. You know what? I would say probably my internet just blurped. About 10 years ago, I said, I don't care what people think. I go in a bathing suit in front of people. I don't care. Let's see, they're talking about wave pools. I'll probably go to Rochester soon. Yeah, do you go to the bins in Rochester? Uh-oh, why am I clicking and it's not working? Did I lose you guys? Oh, it's because my internet's messing up right now. Come on, internet. Internet, cooperate with me today, will you? Why are you not being nice? All right, I'm checking my internet on the phone. Just in case y'all come back before I get to see you. I just want to see how bad am I. I got a commercial I got to watch. Man, those people who put commercials on their videos. Unavailable offline. Show I gotta watch. Man, those people who put commercials on their videos. Oh, okay. So y'all can still see me. I'm just blurry as heck, ain't I? Okay. Frank and Janelle Rochester from FJ Treasure's channel. Oh, I haven't seen them. All right, turning myself down. I see that I'm still, you guys can still hear me. I am 44, so actually Drew Carey is younger than me. Is he younger than you? How old is he? How old is Drew Carey? He was born in 1958? No. So that would make him in his 60s? Because I was born in 68. Is he really that old? Oh my gosh. He's old. He's like 64. Oh yeah. It's not Ohio. It's not Ohio, it's Pennsylvania? Oh, okay. See what I know. I couldn't find it, but I found an RV place, which I didn't know they had. There's the how do you say it? I don't even know how you say that. Presque Isle Passage RV Park and Cabin Rentals. So that came up before I saw, and that's in Ohio. Or no, that's in Pennsylvania. So I just was like, oh, that's in Fairview, Pennsylvania. I'll have to remember that. Well, no, I won't, because we like to stay where it's free. So we stay at the casino because it's free. And the parking lot's pretty good there. You are still on. A little blurry, but we can still hear you. Okay, I see us. He still looks like he's 20. Yeah, he's definitely older than 44. Yeah, I can't believe they said he's born in 1958. I was born in 1968. I can't believe he's 10 years older than me. And he looks really good. I would have thought he was about my age. The fact that he's 10 years older than me, I'm just really surprised. But I feel like when I was watching him on TV, I always kind of felt like he was the same age as me. I'm just in shock right now that he is 10 years older. I almost feel like this isn't correct, but everything says it. Yeah, it says he's 64. Wow. He looks really good for 64. So I'm assuming, I think he had the gastric bypass or something, didn't he? I wonder if he ever had a facelift. He looks really good for being his age. I would not have expected that. So that surprises me. All right, let's see. What do we got? Oh, we're going on almost like in 15 seconds will be 2 hours today. And I got all my stuff packaged, I think. Let me double check. What do I got? I wanted to check Bonanza. I don't think I have anything. And I did not have anything on Shopify. Let's see. Yep, nothing on Bonanza. I already shipped that on the 2nd. I don't, let me just double check my Etsy. I think I only had, I do have another Etsy. I have something on my Yellow Fox. Oh, I sold some glasses. Ugh. You know what that means? It means I got a package and bubble wrap. Ugh. At least I got the items for free. All right, let's go to Etsy. He's got a lot of money. I'm watching him right now on The Price is Right. He's aging a tad. My father was a huge Price is Right fan. Like, you had to 11 o'clock, you were watching The Price is Right. 11 Eastern. Price is Right was on his TV. He was a huge fan. But of course he watched it back when it was I want to say Bob Barker, right? He watched it back when it was him, but yeah, he really liked Price is Right. I don't feel like I don't think there's anything during the daytime that I watch. I used to like watching The View, but they are so either they're so left wing or I've moved more right. One or the other. I don't know which one it is. I have a really hard time watching them now. Yeah, it's really tough. But I mean, I watched them when Barbara Walters was on. Rest in peace, because she passed away in this last 12 months. All right, vintage Libby. I got to do a search for Libby. I got to find out where these are, and I got to take them down from eBay. These just sold this morning. All right here. Oh, wait a minute. I've got 3 listings of these. Which ones did I sell? Oh, the dessert bowls. I thought they were the glasses. Dessert bowls. Okay, so these are from my in-laws. When they moved, they gave me some stuff. How come I don't have the dessert bowls listed on eBay? That's weird. Why are they not coming up? I don't think I've sold them. Did I already take them down? No, I didn't. So, eBay. So I put in Libby is the brand name of these dessert bowls, and I put that into my active listings, and 4 listings came up. The one I needed was not listed. So I just put in gold dessert bowls because my title is Vintage Libby Gold Dessert Bowls. So I put in gold dessert bowls, and there they are with the word Libby in it, but it wasn't pulling up Libby when I put in Libby. They're in J2, by the way. Sometimes, how do you expect customers to find your stuff when you, as a seller, can't even find your stuff? Bob Barker had best looking models on TV. Yes. Now there's male ones. They have gentlemen. Very liberal. You were right. Yeah, they've gotten very liberal. I've never liked Joy Behar. Whoopi I was always okay with. I've never liked Joy. And what was Sherry? Sherry, what was her last name? She was one of the original hosts too. Sherry something. I really liked her. So actually, I really liked all of them but Joy. So I liked Whoopi, Sherry, with the girl they had from Survivor that went on there. She was like the Republican's voice. I think she left there and went to Fox. She wasn't at Fox for very long. I can't remember her name. She was okay. I don't know if I was a fan of hers as much. And then I really like Barbara Walters. And this, I remember kids who were born in 1993 and now they are grown with kids of their own. I know. That's like my daughter. I mean, she was born in 92, my son 94. I mean, my daughter's 30. It's like, what? Doesn't seem right. All right, so J, what did I say that was in J something, right? J2? No, I don't remember. And I ended it. And pays her own bills. Oh, yeah, but she's single, no kiddos, works for Amazon, and lives in Florida. Who's Hillary? Oh, he loved to hug and kiss them. I'll talk about Bob Barker. Yeah, he did. He did. He passed away, didn't he? Bob Barker? Like a couple years ago? All right, so these are in J2. Let me go grab my dessert bowls, 6 of them. Okay, I'm just going to bring the whole tote to you guys because now all of them are all wrapped. And I don't know what's what. I apologize for the noise as I search for the dessert bowls because I got drinking glasses. Wait a minute. There's a whole bunch wrapped at once. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I'm probably making so much noise on you guys. Let me move these out of the way. I think that was all those, like, I had some miscellaneous pieces. I think that was them. All right, I think this might be one. There they are. This is what I sold. 6 of these. 2. 3. All right, so I got 3 more of them somewhere. Oh, right here, I'm guessing. And I'm guessing right here. 4, 5, 6. Okay, I got them. Oh, I gotta put you back in that tote. Hope nobody has earbuds in listening to all this paper. Listening to all that paper. Okay. Now I need my bubble wrap. I need a lot. I need a lot of bubble wrap. I'm going to do each bowl separately and then do them together. Let's do 3 at a time. Okay. Those were the good times. I remember my high school years. It was the best time. Oh, I got some of the best high school friends, you guys. Speaking of high school, oh my gosh, really. I am so lucky. Where did I sell this on Etsy, by the way? I'm using eBay tape though, because it's easier for me to do this. My high school friends, we have a group chat, And I said, I've been so thankful for them. But since we came out with like adding this group chat, we had a Facebook page, but it just wasn't as active as a Facebook, or I mean, this chat. And now we chat every day. There's some conversation about something. Um, I think there's like 12 of us in the group, and because some of them are spouses. Just really, really fortunate. One of my sisters is the same way. She's got a really close group of high school friends that she still communicates with. My other sister, my brother don't. Oh, hold on. My cat wants to come in. Get away. He's scratching at my screen. I heard you upstairs, but I guess maybe it wasn't you. Jeez, it's like a maze walking through here. Really gotta. I think tomorrow. I'm gonna focus on that tomorrow. Maybe I won't go to Plattsburgh. Maybe I'll focus on getting this office cleaned up, getting my space. So I decided I'm gonna double bubbling them. My high school years were tough though. I have some people from high school I see in the Cleveland and talk to. My high school friends, almost all of us have some sort of military connection. Most of us, well, like the men, majority of them went into the military. So a lot of them we didn't really see, or we didn't even really talk too much while they were in the military. One lives in Colorado, still lives there, and he retired there and then lives there. And then the other one's in Maryland. He's the one whose mother just passed away. So he's in Vermont right now. Her funeral's today, actually in 20 minutes. And then I think all of us, everyone else pretty much lives in Vermont. I think I'm the only other one that lives out of state. But they, they still all get together like every Christmas, and in the summer they'll go to like outdoor summer concerts together. Last summer, my friend from, well, actually all of them, the one from Maryland and Colorado, came back to Vermont for a week vacation, and they all rented summer homes together in the same area, like different homes, but they were 3 different houses. And we went over, Tony and I, and we had our RV, and we stayed at a state park that was local. And during the day, we would go over and hang with them, and then at night go back to our camper. So we've done that. We actually rented a house maybe like 15 years ago. We rented a home, and we all stayed at the house. It was a house on the lake. We did it off season, so it wasn't as expensive for so many of us. It had to be a really big house. And yeah, just really, really fortunate. My sister, she just went to Puerto Rico. She turned 50 the end of February, and this is the year that the majority of her friends are turning 50. So they decided to all go to Puerto Rico to celebrate turning 50. Like, that is really cool. So I told my friend, I've been trying to get my friends to go on a cruise. Like, we all need to go on a cruise, because I love cruising. That would be so much fun. Did I tell you all I lost $1,000 in a Carnival gift card? So I turned in some points, and I went to use the gift card, and I couldn't find it in my inbox. I had starred an email, and so when I went to my Gmail, I went to my starred ones, and there was an email, but it was the email saying that I had turned in my points and to be looking out for the gift card. And this was in December of 2021, because we were supposed to go last year, but we never did. So I never ended up using those gift certificates that I had turned in for that cruise. And I can't find the gift card. And they pretty much told me, they said they were going to open an invest. One guy told me, too bad, so sad. And the other one said, oh, we'll open an investigation and see if we can recover the email with the gift codes and stuff. I'm like, that's $1,000, guys. Like, oh. So Tony and I were going to go on a cruise in October, and it's on hold now because I'm like, I'm not going to go on that cruise if I don't have that $1,000 because I'm not paying the price that they were asking for it. And yeah, I'm like, that's $1,000. I could have used those points for something else. Which reminds me, I have my Capital One. I have a Capital One credit card, and then that one, I earn points. I get 2% back in these cash reward points, and I am going to figure out what to do with that. Last year, I just had them send me a check, but sometimes your money goes further if you choose a certain reward. So I'm trying to decide which reward I want. If I want just to get cash, or if I want to do something else. Plus, I have another $1,500 worth of. I see a cardinal out my window. I think the cardinals are my parents, by the way, just so you know. So I'm always like, hey, Dad, when I see the red ones and the female ones, I got a lot of females. So I've got my mom, my grandmother, my great grandmother. I say it all. I literally call them by, hey, Grandma, hey, Mom. So where was I? Oh, so I got another $1,500 in Carnival one. So back in 2020, when Carnival shut down, I pretty much stopped using my Carnival credit card and switched over to just a normal cashback one because I used to have just the Carnival one. And I thought, well, since there's no cruises going on right now, I might as well change over to cash. But I still got another $1,500. At the time, I had $2,500 worth of points. And Tony and I were talking about going on an Alaskan cruise next. So I was holding on to them for that. Okay, so I got these all wrapped. One of the girls I dated in high school for a year has 4 kids right now. That could be you, 4 kids. How many do you have kids? And how many kids do you have? I had one of the girls I went to high school with had 4 kids before she was 30. Isn't that crazy? Her last child just had a baby. Just made her grandmother. Her last child was my child. So my daughter was born in 92. She's 30 years old. So we graduated in 86. So 86 to 92 is what, 6 years. So she had 4 kids in 6 years. Isn't that crazy? I'm like, I was having my first child and she was having her 4th. Yeah. And she had one of her children when she was pregnant, and I was pregnant with my first child. She had an 18-month-old when she was pregnant with her 4th child, and her 18-month-old died at daycare. Isn't that? It was sad. It was very sad. Like when we got the call, actually, she wasn't pregnant. She had just given birth to her baby. Her baby was born premature. My husband went up to see with the dad, and the baby fit in their hand. He goes, her head would be here, the top of her head, and her feet were right here. She was born at 20 weeks, I think. So halfway. And it's the youngest baby ever to be born at the UVM Medical Center here in Burlington, Vermont. The youngest baby to be born and survive. She was so tiny, so tiny. But so when we got the call that they had one of their children had died, we assumed it was Bridget, the baby. But no, it was their 18-month-old. Okay, so what am I going to put this in? Let me see what they paid for shipping. Obviously, they pay priority, right? $9. It's going to Chicago, Illinois. Trying to decide if I wanted to do priority or since I have to do FedEx and UPS today, I could go. I don't have to do UPS. I didn't choose that. But look at this. I got a box right here. I'm going to use this 12 by 12 by 8 box. So their 18-month-old was put down for a nap, and the kid hadn't woken up yet, so they sent in his sister to go wake him up. And they found he had strangled himself. His sister found him. I don't know how old she was. Under 6 years or old or younger. He had strangled himself on the blinds, the cord for a blind. So like I have a blind right here, but it doesn't even have a cord anymore. Like they don't even have cords. But he had strangled himself on a cord. Yeah. Very sad. It was devastating. When my daughter was like 6 months old, I remember thinking, I don't know if I want to buy her like 12-month clothes or whatever, because she might not make it. Like it kept being in the back of my mind that she might not live, because all I could think about is how Tyler had passed away. Like, that's just sad. It was definitely a fear of ours for many years. And I remember when Kendra was 18 months thinking, my gosh, this is how old Tyler was when he passed. It was also their only son. So they had 3 girls and a boy, and they lost their only son. And they ended up adopting a son. They were foster parents, and now they have a son they adopted, Jaden. Yeah. There's some good people, that's for sure. Sucks that good things happen to good people. He was our best man in our wedding, the father of the baby. Had 3 when I was 28, then stopped. Only one husband at a time. Yes, only one husband at a time. Well, for some people, right? You got sister wives. You could have brother husbands. I like that show. They should have that, brother husbands. But then it's not the sister wives. If you watch the sister wives show, it's all because of the Mormon faith, right? So it's a religious faith that calls for them to have more. I don't know if there's a religious faith that gives you permission to have more than one husband. When I was on TikTok last night, they were talking about religion. And then what were they? Oh, prove to me. I think it was like, prove to me there's a Jesus or something like that. And I know I've been struggling a little bit with my faith. And I was listening to them, and I was just like, listen, I'm questioning stuff, but you guys are crazy. Like, the people on there were just insane. I left it. I did go to a medium. Well, I guess she's not really a medium. She reads tarot cards. And so people were asking questions, and she was answering the questions. And so I put in a question. I said, well, how is my mom doing? Was my question. So I didn't want to say anything about her being dead or whatever. I just said, how is my mom doing? To see how she would answer. And because everybody else is asking, like, is my husband cheating on me? Just, should I stay in my job? Like, that's the type of questions. And so my question about just how's my mom doing? And I didn't say anything else. And all of a sudden she's like, she pulls out these cards, she does the whole thing with the cards, and she lays 3 cards down. She goes, oh, I'm going to have a story for you. And then all of a sudden she just stops and she pauses. I recorded it. And she's like, is your mom still with us, or has she passed? And so then I said that she passed away a month ago, and she goes, okay, well, and then she pretty much told me that my mother says there's something happening with you, with your health, and that she's watching over me, and that I need to make my health a priority. And And then she told me that my mother is at peace where she's at, which, they could say that about anything. I kind of like more just kind of listen for like certain things that would, be more generic, not generic, but more like specific for me. And and so she said that that she's just at peace and she's where she wanted to be and that kind of stuff. And I'm like, yeah, that's my mom, right? All along, it's where she wanted to be with my dad. Okay, I gotta grab some of these. Okay. All right, let's see. I think these are packed pretty good. These are still those dessert bowls. I feel pretty good with this. I'm just gonna go ahead and use eBay tape. Even though this is an Etsy sale. Sorry, you guys you might be saying something, but you're too far away for me to read right now while I was doing that. I got old lady eyes. 214. Ooh, it might be. I might have to go to. I'm gonna go to pirate ship. Okay, I'm way behind. Oh yeah, way behind. I'm sure the family was devastated. Yeah, they're losing their little boy. Oh my gosh, it was really tough. I've been obsessed with SIDS for some reason with my grandchildren. When they stay overnight, I get no sleep. I was up checking on them, making sure they're breathing every hour. I know, so scary, right? Because there's like no rhyme or reason for it. I had bought a bunch of baby boy clothes when I was pregnant with Garrett. It took me 5 years to get rid of those clothes. I never got the chance to use. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that. That must have been so hard having a stillborn. I can't even imagine. Good Lord, no more husbands. I know, just one is enough at times, huh? Not true. Hey, Timothy, we don't believe and practice that. So I'm assuming you're Mormon. Yeah, I mean, everyone's different. I mean, because even when you look at like the Christian faith, there's so many that do everything. Everyone's different. And I was just having a conversation with a friend or relative. I can't remember who it was. Somebody in the last, maybe it was you guys. We were talking about how, I mean, it was my daughter, talking about my kids and saying how, like you look at the politics and you can say like, oh, I'm a Republican. It doesn't mean I believe in everything the Republicans say or everything the Republicans do. There's a lot I don't believe in with the Republicans. And there's a lot I don't believe in or I do believe in with the Democrats. So, but there's more things I lean towards the Republicans for, but I think it's kind of like religion, that there's not always everything you believe in with the Bible or the truth. Like, I know they really want you to, but you don't always believe or follow everything, right? So there's like the 10 commandments. How many people follow every 10 commandment in their daily life? Not very many. Hence in the Catholic, that's why you can go to what is it called, where you go and confess all your sins and stuff you've done. Confessional, I guess. There's that in the Catholic Church. So I'm hooked on Sister Wives, but I don't believe their lifestyle really has anything to do with religion. Yeah, there is some episodes where they've talked about it, but yeah, I'm not sure. I think originally it was, and then I think it just got caught up with this show, and I think unfortunately they got into the money aspects of stuff, and it was just more about that. This last two seasons, I feel really bad for them. I know that I used to belong to a Sister Wives group. Man, they hated Cody and they were all over him, but I kind of feel bad for him. I think he was put into a really bad position with COVID hit. My sister-in-law last Oh, must be lost her son at 6 months on Christmas Day. Oh my gosh, 96 from SIDS. What a strange, terrible thing to go through. Right? Yeah, and Christmas would suck from then on. So one of my old coworkers, my boss, when I was young, one of my first jobs out of college, her sister died on Christmas and she hated Christmas. She didn't want to celebrate it at work or anything. Yeah, it was really, really tough for her. I struggle with my faith every day. It's not a simple thing. Yeah, I struggle. I've struggled for years, years and years. Yeah, quite a few years actually. Actually, probably most of my adulthood. I think when I was younger, we went to church every Sunday. Hated it because we had to get up early. Um, started out Catholic. My parents left the Catholic Church. My parents had 4 children. They were very middle class, but to the lower middle class. Live paycheck to paycheck type of thing. And the church was giving them a hard time because they didn't give enough money to the church. So my dad was Methodist and my mom was Catholic. And they pretty much said, yeah, we're leaving the Catholic Church because they were just money hungry. And they went to we went to one of the nicer churches in the town we lived in too for Catholic churches. The other church I think was a lot worse. I ended up in the Methodist church. I really liked the Methodist church. Just it was smaller. The congregation just was so much more friendly. We stayed after church. They always had like a congregation after church where we would hang out. Of course, we didn't go to church much. Like I wasn't in the service because we were down in the Sunday school thing. Even like into our teens, we were still doing that. Um, but yeah, it was just really nice community. I felt like it was a really nice community. Really got to know them. And that's probably part of what I miss the most about church is the community of church. But there's other communities. I just got to find the community that I feel comfortable in. But it's hard for me because I don't know, I'm just socially awkward. I don't always speak in a manner like I'm very factual. I'm very black and white. I don't have a lot of gray sometimes. And when I speak, the things I say always don't come out in the manner that I mean them to come out. Like I might mean to say things in a nicer, like I mean something nice, but I'm saying it in a black and white, so it always kind of comes out not not always the way I mean it to be. I don't know if that's making any sense. I feel like I struggle with that. After all these years, it's still hard for her. I can't even imagine. Thank gosh. I tell my husband all the time, like, I hope I die before him. Just what I'm going through with losing my mom, I can't even imagine if I lost a child, um, or I lost one of my child or my husband. Like the husband would probably be the hardest because he's been in my life the longest and the closest I've been to. Like a child would be hard, obviously. I hate to say that because I don't mean that like a child wouldn't be as hard. Like I'm surprised how I am with my mom, but obviously I've known my mom more than I've known my husband. But the last 5 years, like she's been my person. I have faith but struggle when they say God is in control, not always comforting me because bad stuff happens. I know, that's the thing. You're kind of like, why would honestly, one year I said, I was in my 20s, maybe early 30s. And I said, my New Year's resolution is I'm going to read the Bible. I've never read the Bible. Like, we would always read little passages and talk about it during Sunday school, which I don't remember any of that because my whole thought was just to get the heck out of here or maybe the lasagna we were going to have when church was done, that type of stuff. Like, I never really paid attention. And it was all more for me, just the community and that kind of stuff. And my parents made me go. But I remember one time I said, I'm going to read the Bible this year. And my father-in-law and I were just talking about it because he's a very strong Christian. Like it's been bothering him since he moved over here. My mother-in-law was saying that he hasn't gone back to church. He hasn't found a church yet over here to go to. I'm like, there's one right down the road. It looks like a beautiful church. He should go. If that's important to him, he should make himself go to it. But I started reading the Bible, and it must be one of the first stories because I don't feel like I got very far into it. My husband was just like, I was questioning everything. Why this? Why that? And he's like, you're not supposed to question it, just read it. And I'm like, no, that's not the way my brain is an analyzer, and I gotta think things through, and I gotta make sense of it. And he's just like, no, you just don't. You just, it is what it is. This is the whole process. And there was a story about, I don't even know the names of people, right? There was a story of somebody who had to take his son up to the top of a mountain and kill him. And as he was about ready to kill him, God came, maybe it wasn't reading the Bible, maybe I was watching something on TV. God ended up speaking to him at the last minute and told him he didn't have to kill his son. He was testing him. And I'm like, I'm sorry, but my God that I have in my mind would not test you on killing your son. So I'm like, screw this stuff. Honestly, I've really, I think that's when I heard that story and whatever, I'm like, yeah, I've had a hard time since then. Hello, kids dealing more. I haven't seen your name in a while. Of course, I haven't seen most of your names in a while because I haven't come on here that often, right? Just a few viewers seem to pop on when I do come on. Christians and non-Christians all have struggles. Yeah, they all do. It's biblical. In this life, you will have troubles. Bad stuff does, but I look at it as a lesson in preparing me for something to come. I know, I am a true believer that everything happens for a reason. And although I may struggle trying to figure out what the reason is at the time, when I look back, almost always I have learned a lesson. I've learned, or I've come out better in the end. Like one time I lost a job and it was devastating for me. I got let go of a job. I was accused of something that I 100% didn't do and lost my job because of it. But I knew 100% that I was innocent of what I was accused of. And it ate at me. I lost my hair. A lot of it hasn't come back, but I mean, the stress was really tough. And I had a really hard time, really hard time. But when all of that got done, my boss at the time, I was a government contractor. The government got rid of me. Again, accused me of something that I didn't do. And I had a really hard time. But my boss of the military or of the contractor came to me and said, we have a job. Oh, I never printed the label for this box, by the way. She said, I have another job for you. Are you interested in it? And I said, sure. And at the time I was working for the Army Guard. Well, she had a job with the Air Guard. So I got hired and I went to worked there for one day. That night she called me. She goes, well, so and so at the Army Guard heard about you getting hired at the Air Guard and they're throwing a fit. And the Air Guard's not sure they want to deal with this fight. So she had gone to somebody at the National Guard Bureau, a colonel at the time, amazing guy, became really good friends with him. At the time, I didn't know him, and convinced him to create a position where I became a trainer, and I became their training coordinator, manager, whatever, of this program. And so I went from, instead of working at the state level, I became part of this management team, worked from home. And at the time I was just like, oh, I don't know if I want to work from home. Like I like going in the office. I liked the whole office dynamics of having coworkers. And she's like, you're going to love it. So I said, all right, I'll go ahead and do that. I did that job for, I don't know, maybe 6 months and then got promoted to deputy manager and absolutely just was the best thing that happened to me. Amazing. I got to be closer with my boss, got to meet amazing people, got to do so much traveling. Really, really turned out to be the best decision ever. And had I never been let go from that other job, this probably would have never came to my life ever. So I'm very, very thankful that happened. They are not Mormons, but a spin-off. they talk about on the show. I thought they said they're part of the Mormon faith. Even Christians follow 10 commandments. Important to strive for, but people fall short. Right on, Jen. I was very Catholic, but don't attend any church now. That's a huge command.
Are you done?
No, I'm still alive.
Are you done packing?
Oh yeah. Well, I have to print this label.
Because I'll run to the post office for you.
Oh, okay. I mean, I said I would go.
No, I'll go.
I don't mind going because I wanted to go out because it's sunny.
I need to run out too.
Because it's only 34 out. It's supposed to be in the 40s. Oh, wait a minute. My Etsy integration is not working. Sorry what I was saying. I got a sidetrack because now I'm going to do this box. I think it was £2.15.
Okay. Then I'm going to run out and I'll come back and then you can go to the post office.
Okay. Where are you going?
I got to go.
No, let me give this to you. I only have to print this one label. Want to grab a blue bag? And I got to put everything in a bag still. He needs my car. I need to get him a car. $9.59. I'll just go with this one. Print. I may have been able to save a little bit going to Pirate Ship, but it looks like my integrations are not integrated anymore. So I got to reconnect them. It's on upside down. Perfect. All right, hold on. Let me put these in a bag. I got a lot of messages to catch up on. I'll drop this off.
Why?
Well, it's got to go to FedEx, Walgreens. Although Steven's been taking them, but I want to go out anyway.
I wouldn't trust them.
What? You like them? You always say it.
I know, but you never know.
I know. I'm always questionable.
He's not watching.
I'm sure he's not watching. I don't think he knows I have YouTube. I've never told him. Let me just put this here so I don't forget it. Okay. Well, I lost 4 subs last week. I wonder how many I'll lose this week after having some religious talk. Easy to love those who love us, but not other people sometimes. Community is very important. It is. It is. I don't feel like I've got this reselling community here. I don't feel, and then I got my high school friends community. I feel like that's it for me. I really want to build a community where I live. Oh, Jen, I struggle with forgiveness like you would not believe. Every single day, it's tough to forgive a parent who should love you unconditionally. But I have to do it no matter how hard. Yeah. It is hard. I think forgiveness is hard. I think I'm easier. I think I actually am pretty good with forgiveness. I don't always forget, but I can forgive and move on. But there are some people in my life that even if I've forgiven them, and I haven't forgotten, there's just not a relationship. But I'm okay with that. Like I have a cousin who I was really good friends with, and she was actually in my wedding. She's my son's godmother. And I haven't talked to her in 25 years, probably, like been friends, like whatever. And I've often asked myself, if she was to pass away, would you regret that you didn't like close up that friendship, like build it back up? Every time I'm like, no. I'd be sad. I don't know if I probably wouldn't shed a tear. I'd be sad if she passed away. I'd be sad for her family, my aunt, that kind of stuff. But I would not feel any regret that I never patched up that friendship. I'd be okay with it. I think that's what you have to always ask yourself. And I know yours is hard, right? If it's your mom, it's hard. Mom, your dad, both of them, yeah. It's tough when it's both. Abraham, yes, it was in the Bible. Okay. There are tons of stories of faith in Bible. Yeah. I've had a hard time. Well, I have a hard time with the Bible. My daughter tells me, I'm sorry, I'm reading through these quickly, saying my my daughter's kind of like, both my kids lean towards being atheist. Of I'm not sure either of them. Well, I know my son absolutely does not believe in any religion or anything. My daughter made a comment to me after my mom died, and I said, I thought you didn't believe in God or whatever. She goes, oh, I believe, I'm very spiritual. Like, so she's really still spiritual. And she says, I truly believe that your mom's spirit is here and she's still like watching you and she's in heaven. And, but she just doesn't believe in the whole religious thing. And I'm like, I mean, that's probably where I'm at. Not really like, not more like, not in the structured religion, but more spiritual. Sometimes I kind of feel like I'm more of like maybe the like Native American and in the way they think. I kind of find myself that's more like me. You know, obviously if I'm looking out at a cardinal and I feel like that's my dad and my mom and I talk to my parents and I hope there's a heaven. I have a very big question mark over that. But I live like there is, but I question it. I don't know. It's really weird. I think that heaven is more for us earthlings, for us that, just to make us feel better with death. Um, but I feel true, like believer that if it makes me feel better thinking that there's a heaven, then go ahead and think it. And if I die and there's ends up not being a heaven, then oh well, there's not a heaven. Like who cares? I'll be dead. But if it helps me deal with the death that I'm dealing with here in my lifetime, then yeah, then I'll do it. So, are you serious? Oh, I don't know what you said that to. It's hard when you can't express your opinion in your live about stuff and to lose subs. Oh yeah, yeah, because I lost four. I lost four. I don't know why I lost four. I just noticed today that I lost four. Some people just unsub because some people like followed me back when I was talking about Amazon a lot and I was posting videos about getting ungated and all that kind of stuff, right? And if they're just doing Amazon and they're not even doing eBay or anything, it's not every, and some people here don't, I got people who follow me that don't resell at all, and they just pop in here because they like the conversation and the chatting and all that kind of stuff. So I'm okay. I'm all right with it. I hope you don't lose subs over this. Yeah. Everyone is free to have opinions. Yeah, I'm okay if they do. I mean, I'm hoping to get to $5 this month. You guys, I don't know who was here when I was looking online. I was at I'm at $4.99 for the last month in my money I've made on YouTube ads. In this, I speak about truth a lot. I don't talk politics on YouTube. Oh, you don't talk politics. I thought you said you don't, as in you in this. I'm like, what? You know what's funny though? You can talk about viruses, vaccines for them, your opinion on a vaccine, your opinion on um, just general life stuff, and people will say you're talking politics. And it's like, what? No, I'm not. Like, how is that? I feel like in today's day and age, no matter what you talk about, it's turned into a political, like you're talking politics. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm not talking politics. I'm talking like, what's the definition of a woman? Why does that have to be political? It shouldn't be, but it is. So it's just too bad. Or um, whether or not you support the police. Right? Why is that political? Man, I had my phone on here watching to see if I was what I was doing on YouTube, and it just drained my battery down. I'm at 20%. I got my 20% warning. So it's like everything is political. I was watching the this morning, the Hodge twins. I don't remember what their channel name is. Like I used to watch them a couple years ago, and I haven't really watched them lately. But I was flipping through trying to find something to listen to while I was taking a shower today, and I was listening to them, and they were talking about one of actually it was a video that they were being interviewed. It wasn't on their channel; it was on something else, and they were talking about how they were when they got started. They started off doing what kind of channel was it? And then they did fitness, and then they did another type of channel before they ended up getting into the they were talking current events, and then they ended up going into the political realm of stuff. And they were talking about all that, and I'm thinking, yeah, I could do a channel just talking about like current events and stuff like that. And then I thought, no, I just think like because everything turns into political, and I've already lost so many friends over the 2016 election. I can't even imagine if I did a channel where I was talking about stuff like that all the time. I think he will buy YouTube soon. Oh, Elon Musk, that would be nice. That would be nice. I feel like it's worked out well with Twitter. He's opened up stuff for them to know what's going on. I can't buy you a coffee here. There is no money in PayPal. I have money, just not in PayPal. Oh, that's okay. You don't have to buy me a coffee. I don't even have buy me a coffee. I have buy me a taco. I think that's what I have. Yeah, I was watching Scott last week, or was it the week before? And they were talking about supporting channels you watch. And I ended up going and placing an order and bought something from Supply Hut with his link and stuff, because I think it is nice if you have the ability, especially if there's like an Amazon link. It doesn't cost you anything if you shop on Amazon. Don't ever just go directly to Amazon and buy something. Always click a link in a YouTube, because almost all the people you follow on YouTube will have some affiliate link, and you don't even have to buy. If you're clicking on a Scotty peeler, a list for Scotty peelers, right? You're clicking on a link for this. You don't have to buy this. Just click the link, put in what you're looking for. Like I just bought some RV septic cleaning stuff, right? So you click the link for Scotty peeler, and then you change and you go to buy whatever, and they get for the next 24 hours whatever you buy on Amazon. Whoever's link you clicked will get a portion of that. It might only be 24 cents. But you think if everybody did that watched, and because we know a lot of us shop on Amazon, we would all get, enough money, like even an extra $20 a month for doing a video, putting out video and content. It's tough to do content. And, I started off the show talking about Ann Eckhart had put a video out saying how she was quitting YouTube. And I thought, man, that lady, she puts out so many clickbait videos. Her titles are all clickbait. And I watched, and she's like, well, I'm thinking about stopping one of our channels, because a lot of big YouTubers have two channels. They put their lives on one, and then they put their pre-recorded on another. That's usually what happens. But some just do two different pre-recorded, like Commonwealth Flipper, Commonwealth Picker, and then he's got the Garage Nation, and like he's got a lot of different channels. Because if you can get 25,000 followers to come over and follow your other channel, and then you end up getting paid for both channels, it's not always double income, but it's even more so than just one channel. And so she was talking about one of them she made like $500 on in January, and the other she only made 130, and so she's thinking about stopping that other one. It's a lot of work to have a YouTube channel and to be putting out content all the time. I like doing lives because they don't really take much time. I'm already here doing something anyhow. No, I shouldn't say it takes. It takes it takes more time even when I'm doing a live, because I find myself talking to you or showing you something versus just packing my stuff up and being gone. Like during Q4, I'm not going to go live because I got too many things to package and I got too much stuff to do. But pre-recorded, you got to record it, you got to edit it. I hate editing videos because it takes so much time, and there's so much other stuff that I have got to get done. Like my taxes right now. I got to get my taxes done. And I got to do my mom's taxes. And I got to do my father-in-law and mother-in-law's taxes. And I still got to finish cleaning out my mom's house this weekend. And I still got all this death pile stuff I got to deal with. So for me, doing pre-recorded, because there's so many ideas I have in my mind that I'd love to do a video for. I've got footage of me going thrifting last summer that I've not done anything with. I've got stuff. I have another channel, and this one, this channel, Living the Better Way. Haven't put anything out since last summer. I've got footage. I just haven't taken the time to edit it because I got other stuff to do. But I don't make enough on my channel to pay somebody to edit. Now, would I make more if I had somebody editing and putting more content out on a regular basis? Yeah. But is it enough? I don't know. I don't know. I've never tried it to find out. And I don't want to take the time to invest the time or money into something if it's not going to end up really fully working. Yeah, creates a real hassle when I have a Bonanza refund. Yes. Because that's pretty much the only money that's in my PayPal is from Bonanza. Which reminds me, I should check. The other day I was surprised by how much I had in my PayPal. And my Venmo. I got to take that money out of Venmo. Tiffany, that happens in the YouTubers cheating people at garage sales by buying stuff cheap to resell on eBay. Resellers become crooks, according to some people. I was watching a video where NC Picker was saying, he put out a video. I say NC Picker because I don't think I watch NC Flipper channel. I think I only watch one channel. I don't know. Well, Dave was saying that somebody put an ad on Craigslist in his area in Florida saying, watch out for this guy because he's going to your garage sales and pretty much calling him out for like buying and reselling. Like somebody did that in his area. Can you imagine? That's crazy. I have to have my daughter put money into PayPal and then I have to pay her back through her bank because PayPal will not let me auto transfer money from my bank to them. It's nutty. When I was doing my Super Bowl pool, I had somebody who was like, oh, my child, one of their children has got to show them how to do PayPal or whatever. The money ended up coming from their son Cameron, not from the father. Let's see. If I do a channel, I would not read my comments. I would have someone else. I hardly had any with my podcast years ago. You know, I've thought about doing a crafting channel. Man, I'll tell you, this is the thing with reselling. You look at the biggest reselling channel there is out there, and I don't even know who it is and how many followers they have. It is nothing compared to if you looked at even like some of the camping, RVing channels that I watch. Like they've got a lot of followers. Or if I look at even the crafting, some of the crafting channels I watch, holy smokes. I can't even imagine how much money some of them make. The followers. And when they put up a video and you see that a video was up an hour ago and it already has 35,000 views, you're like, 35,000 views in an hour? Like, oh my gosh, it's crazy. Yeah. I think that the more wider the range, the more opportunity you're going to get for, because like even if you're doing a reselling channel, if you focus on Amazon, and there's a lot of Amazon sellers, but I think you're more apt going to find an eBay seller that would follow you than an Amazon seller. I think Amazon people seem to be more, well, I don't know. I mean, there's some Amazon channels I watch, like Norman Ferrara, I think his name is, or something like that. He's pretty big. But that seems like if you're doing private label, that seems to be really big. But then like the print on demand, like that's huge. That's huge. But you've got to be good in your field because people want to know that you're successful at what you're doing. If I'm going to start telling you how to sell on Etsy, I better be a really good Etsy seller. I'm not sure that's always the case, right? There's some people I follow. Oh, there's some people I used to follow. I don't follow anymore because think we were talking about that last week. There's two girls I was watching for a while in the morning, and man, the information they were giving I felt was so bad. Yeah. I was just reading this one about um, you get a hard time because you pay for stuff's cheap. And listen, if you go to a garage sale and somebody's asking for $1 for something and you pay them $1 and you sell it for 50, I mean that person got what they were asking. It's not it's not my fault if I paid $1 for something. What am I supposed to tell them? Oh, that's a $50 item. They should charge more. Most people don't care. They just want to get rid of it. What I don't like is when I go to garage sale and there's no prices and you say, how much do you want for this? And they say, I don't know. What do you want to pay? Or what do you think? I hate that. I don't like garage. I don't, a lot of times I'll just leave. I know some people like, they love that. They'll just throw out a price or whatever. I don't like, I don't like prices. I don't like when I go to a place and they don't have prices on stuff because it's just socially awkward for me to talk to somebody to say how much is something. I just don't like doing that. It really stresses me out. Um, right, exactly. It's still saying, Anissa. If you pay the asking price, no matter where you buy from, what does it matter what they do with it? That's exactly how I even feel about shippers. I say, listen, if you're a drop shipper, I don't come shop in my store. Come buy whatever you want from my eBay store. I would be happy to send it off to wherever you want it to go. All right. As long as I'm getting what I'm asking for, you want to flip my stuff and sell it on another platform I'm not selling on, or you think you can do a better job marketing than I do, hey, go for it. I am all for that. I'm getting what I'm asking. That's all that matters. Right? Someone pays my price. I don't care if they wipe their rear end, set it on fire, and make $1 billion. Exactly. Now, if I was having somebody come to my, because people talk about this on the Etsy groups all the time. If somebody was coming and buying from me all the time and flipping it and flipping it and flipping it, and there are some people who do this all the time to some of these people on Etsy, and people will come on when they have an issue, and then they'll say, "Oh, this person's been buying me for quite a while, and I've had a feeling they were probably flipping it." Well, if somebody does that and they've bought from me 10 different times, at some point I'd say to myself, I need to search for where they're selling my stuff. Where are they selling it? Because you know what? I need to go put my stuff there. Do you know how many people on Poshmark and Etsy don't sell on eBay? Won't sell on eBay. They've heard horror stories. They've never sold on eBay. Um, And I'm like, why not? Like, it makes no sense to me unless you've been kicked off the platform. Why would you not cross post your stuff? If I am a soap maker, I make candles. Um, Eric, who was in here earlier, he makes metal things that have laser cuttings and stuff. Like he has his own website. I mean, I'm sure he sells somewhere else. But why would you not sell on the second biggest platform of place? Well, maybe I don't know if Walmart's where Walmart stands now, but eBay, who had been the seconds after Amazon for years, why would you not sell on Amazon? Why would you not sell on eBay? It doesn't make any sense to me. Now I can see how come some people don't sell on Amazon because it's a nightmare. Um, and I can see not selling on. If you sell on Amazon FBA, I can see where you don't sell on eBay. But if you're selling on Etsy where you're shipping out your stuff and you're complaining that you don't have very many sales, then post it on eBay. You get so many listings a month for free. You don't have to have a store. Yeah, I would definitely be finding out where's somebody selling my stuff because I'm gonna go find it and I'm gonna list it there. Now, if it's their own website, like if they're doing a Shopify or something, okay, go for it. Because they probably have a good social media or whatever. Yeah, I don't know why people don't like resellers making money. You were taken from the poor. Nah. As I look at it as like when I want to go to the thrift store that the Humane Society has, it's closed today. I'm supporting their mission. So if I can go in there and find something and buy it and flip it, their job isn't, um, their mission is to make money to support the Humane Society. Their mission isn't to sell stuff to poor people, because a lot of stuff they sell is not stuff poor people would probably even be buying. Yeah, they do. Some of it I think is also when you're watching a video on YouTube, sometimes they're like, "Oh, you're only asking $1. I think it's really worth 5. I'm going to give you 5 for it." Right? Some of them do it just because it's just clickbait. They can put something in the title. I paid more than the person was asking, or there's things like that. Because they make more money off their video than they do paying somebody a little extra. That's yeah. So much that people do. Some of the consistent YouTubers out there, a lot of what they do all has to do with what's going to get them clicks on their videos. All right, so I'm reading through these things. What's that lady bunny I used to watch? She's got a zillion followers and she's so strange. I don't know. One time at a garage sale, somebody priced everything according to Amazon. Yeah, so when I've had a garage. I When I was younger and eBay was around, I had done a garage sale and priced a lot of stuff. I was like one of those people that price things on what people were asking for on eBay. That was before I was really selling. Like I used to sell on eBay, but it was like the kids' clothes and stuff. But I was never really like an eBay seller per se, even though I was selling some things. But yeah, I've learned now. Um, Same with my mom had a bunch of Thai Beanie Babies and Attic Treasures, and she collected them. And gosh, she had so many of them. And when she was, I think she was still in her other house here in Messina, and she was cleaning some stuff out, and she said, what do you think about selling these? And I said, yeah, I'll sell them for you on eBay. And I was looking them up and I'm like, Mom, this Beanie Baby is worth, $500 and this one's worth this. And like, that's before I realized how inflated things are, because I just didn't know what I didn't know. But I remember like, oh my gosh, some of these are selling for so much money. And I took them and I took so much time listing them and everything. And like nothing was selling. She thought she was going to get this nice payday, and nothing was selling at all. This was probably, um, gosh, I'm trying to think of how long ago this was. This was probably like maybe 8 years ago, 8 to 10 years ago. And yeah, they weren't selling at all. I ended up pulling them all down and gave them to her because at the time I was paying like the 20 cents or whatever it was, 25 cents a listing or whatever. I think after maybe it was like 6 months or a year, I was like, here you go. You can have them all back. She sold a couple, but not very many. But I also had priced them too high because I thought they were worth more than what I was trying to ask for them. Probably should let you guys go. What is it, 12:30? It's been 3 hours. Yeah, estate sale companies. I think estate sale companies, they just know, right? I mean, that's their job, is to know, and their job is to get the best price. They usually get a percentage of the sales. So, if they can sell something for $20 instead of 5, right, they make more money. And the reputation. So if St. George's family found out that they hired an ABC company to sell their grandmother's estate and they made whatever off of it, they're more apt to tell the Johnson family that, hey, yeah, you should go with this company because this is who I made. So yeah, I can see. And I think a lot of people who go to like estates, at least around here, well, around here there's not very many estate sales, but in Vermont, some were resellers because I would see some and I knew who they were and what they did. But I think there was a lot, like when I went, I wasn't a reseller at the time. I was just going for my own self. And I know my daughter, she goes garage sailing and stuff like that, and she's just buying for herself. Although she did just spend $80 at a sale for me. She FaceTimed me, just like I used to do with my mama. I sell only used board games and media on Amazon. I should list some of my used board games. I've got a whole bunch. I don't sell hardly anything used on Amazon. I really need to up my game with that and clear some of this stuff out. Yeah, Amazon is return heaven. Yeah, I'm so on the fence with Amazon. I've been paying that $40. I pay Keepa. I'm still doing Inventory Lab. I so gotta get my taxes done so I can cancel that because I use Inventory Lab for accounting. Once I get that done, I'm canceling it because I'm just not doing Amazon. I'll tell you how bad Amazon is. Let me tell you how many items I currently have at Amazon. I just don't. I sent in some Happy Planner stuff and the price tanked on them. What do I got? Where thought I used to tell you how many items. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 6 items at Amazon right now. 6 items. Or I should say 6 ASINs. There's more than one of. Like I got a calendar there. I still got 19 left. The price is down to $9.77. I'm going to show you guys. This is ridiculous. Oh wait, hold on. Let me share my screen. I don't care if you guys know my Amazon. I've had it in videos, never. Okay. So here's my Amazon. So look, I got these calendars. I'm not going to do them again. I didn't make enough. I paid $5.37 for the calendar. Amazon fees is $7.62. Right? So right there, you've got almost $13 just in my cost of goods plus fees. I'm at $12.88. I'm literally taking a loss. I lowered it to $12.88 because I'm like, I just want to recoup some of my expenses at this point. I don't care if I make money. I'll lose money. But if I can recoup some, that's good. But somebody's got it for $9.77. It is $7.62 just in fees. Like, there's no way they're making even less. Like, they're not even recouping. They're recouping hardly anything. But I still got 19 left. Then I sent in these planner stuff. I hang out in the planner world, and I bought some of these. I think I bought 10 of each of these colors. Sent them in. I got only like 9 left of this one. This went down to 16, but it was on clearance for $6.47 and $9. Right, so that's 15 something. Like, this person's maybe making $1. Like, why? It just doesn't make any sense. Like, this one's at $15. Yeah, they're breaking even. I mean, maybe they got it cheaper. I don't know where, because I'm kind of up on like where stuff is, so I don't know. But there's my store. Now I have merchant fulfilled. Doesn't say, like, it used to show you how many. I don't see it here anymore. These are all merchant fulfilled. But this is all on eBay. These are all stuff I have on eBay. Nothing great. Like this jacket, I can't believe it. I paid $58 for it. I can't believe it never sold. It's the second winter it went through. But yeah, this is all the stuff I got. I got all this stuff. Whatever. There's my stuff. Most of it is merchant fulfilled. Stuff just is not. It's just not going. No, it's not selling. I don't know how to find anyone in Amazon. I know it's hard. So, you know how you find somebody in Amazon? You wait till they mention something they might be selling. For instance, let's say you heard somebody said to you, I'm trying to find, I'm selling these. They haven't sold. I shouldn't say I'm selling them because they're not selling. Let's say somebody said to you, yep, Fujifilm, this is a good deal right now, which by the way, it was a good deal on Amazon. I don't understand why you buy it at Walmart and flip it on Amazon. I've been at the buy box price, but I should look and see who's got the buy box. When does this expire? I bought it before Christmas. October of 24. Yeah, so by October of 23, I'll be like, okay, we got to get this out of here. So you find out what somebody is selling. So for instance, I wanted to know somebody's store, and somebody I follow on YouTube, watch every week. That person mentioned something they had picked up or was selling or whatever, and they only had picked up like a couple bags just to test something out, to do a video or whatever. You just search for that item, you look at it. So if you click on a username, it'll give you their address on Amazon. That happened a couple years ago. And if you know that somebody lives in Little Rock, Arkansas, and you click and you see an address and it says P.O. Box, whatever, or even a 123 Main Street, Little Rock, Arkansas, you're like, I bet you that's the person that I want to know. So that's how I find them. So you got to find a product first, and then you look at the sellers, and then you can narrow it down from there. Sometimes there's only one or two sellers, maybe only 6 sellers, and so you can figure it out. Because if you see there's 6 sellers and 4 of them are in California, one's in Texas, and one's in Arkansas, you're like, oh, bingo, there's my Arkansas. That's what I'm looking for. And then you bookmark it if you want to keep an eye on what they're selling. People are worried about selling their stores because of the creeps out there. I'm like, I don't care. Yeah, I don't, my address is out there. I've never really hidden it, but I think if you got big enough, like it's something that I've thought about. If I was going to take YouTube seriously, not that I don't take it seriously, but like if I was like, okay, I'm going to make this as my income and I'm going to like really get going. Yeah, I would probably make sure that as I'm building, I'm not sharing who I am. Sometimes even using your real name. So when I was on TikTok yesterday, my username is Tamara Augustino, on one of mine, and that's the one I've been hanging out with just as a viewer, because my other one is Slot Play Bonus, and I didn't want to be in, in a. I was watching this dating game, and I'm not looking to date or whatever, but it was just like this dating match thing, and it was just interesting watching it. It's just entertainment, and they had a. I didn't want to be in there commenting as Slot Play Bonus. So I logged into another account I had created a long time ago under my name. And yesterday, as I was like in a room with like 4,000 people, and I thought, probably ought to not put your real name. So I think it's good to have an alias. If you're in certain areas, I just think it's not a bad idea not to be there with your real name, right? Like Anessa, your junk trader, anytime picker, C rewind, right? I mean, Yellow Brick Road reselling. I says Tamara here, but I don't say my last name, even though I've said it on here a number of times. My mother was on here with her full name. So I think just like sometimes I think it is good to be aware. I was watching something the other day. They were talking about it was like real life murders. It was like a TV show, I think, that was talking about real life murders. And they mentioned somebody who used to be a YouTube star, and she had gotten murdered by somebody who followed her on YouTube. And I think she got famous just on YouTube. You may know who I'm talking about. I don't know who that was because I didn't follow her or even remember her getting murdered and them talking about it. But it was somebody who did that. So it's kind of like you gotta be careful because you never know who's watching. Because most likely the person's probably not chatting if they're up to no good, and they're gonna do harm, and that kind of stuff. So you just kind of have to watch out. Most of the time when I'm ordering from a third party on Amazon, I check out their info and feedback. Yeah, I don't always. I sometimes do. I almost most of the time when I'm checking out their feedback, it's because I'm looking at competition. If I'm looking at carrying a product, Target right here. Ha ha ha. Yeah, I better watch out. I'm gonna hunt you down, Timothy. Where you're in Idaho, aren't you? I mean, what's Idaho got like a population of 5 people? It shouldn't be so hard. Or no, you're in Idaho, aren't you? Not Utah. You're in Idaho. My daughter is starting work in a state prison and she wants to get her last name off Facebook accounts, but she can't access email account to get code to change her email. Ah, that stinks. Um, so we're really good friends with some state troopers, and one of them, her name is Teresa, and she changed her first name on Facebook as her. I mean, her name on Facebook now is her first name backwards. So it's like Estra something, whatever Teresa is backwards is her name. Um, I learned that. So my son's an author. I think I've mentioned that to you guys here before that he's a published author on Amazon because I published him. But man, he wrote a book, a fantasy type of book. Really, I was just so impressed when I read it. And he was writing another one, and he's like, he had to come up with a name for a character, and I'm like, you need to call it Armat because I never realized. Well, I I realized, but t- take back what I just said. So Oprah, when she was doing her TV show, her thing was Harpo Studios, which is Oprah backwards. So I've always been like, okay, I need to use Armat. So I did. So I told him he needed to call one of his characters Armat, and I think he did. And he's creating a video game, and I think he's used Armat as one of his characters. I actually went to create a username. Where was I? Oh, on Twitch. So one of my friends, Dave, who pops in here from time to time, he hasn't been here for a while. Actually, I think he was here a couple weeks ago, maybe last week, but I hadn't seen him in months. And he he streams on Twitch playing games. And I guess you can follow somebody on Twitch with your Prime account. And he goes, "Do you ever go on Twitch?" And I'm like, "No." He says, "Well," he goes, "You got Amazon Prime?" I'm like, "Yep." He goes, "Well, will you follow me?" Because he gets paid like $1.50 or something every every month for people who follow him with their Prime account. Well, normally you have to pay to follow somebody. I'm pretty sure it was Twitch, but if you have Prime, you get to follow one person for free, but that person still makes money off of it. So I went and followed him because I mean I don't care. I'm not paying anything. Why not support a friend? So I was following him and I had to create a username and I put in Armat as my screen name because I'm like, it's a gaming channel. It was taken. I couldn't use Armat. I'm like, what? That's my name backwards. Who else is using Armat? That's what I want to know. Yeah, Twitch. I'm pretty sure it was Twitch. But yeah, I couldn't use Armat. I know. What's Anissa backwards? Probably close to Anissa. Actually, it'd probably be the word ass, wouldn't it? You'd start off with the word ass. Oh, Todd and I went to the funeral. I'm glad we did. Aside from core group of people we saw last night, there was maybe 20 others. Oh, in that big church, if that. Oh, a friend was just updating on the funeral. Oh, only about 20 people showed up for it. I think that when you die and you are older, like if you're in your 80s, most of the time or not, like my grandma was 96 when she passed. She didn't have hardly any family left and definitely didn't have any friends pretty much because everybody had passed. So you just don't end up with a lot of people at your funeral versus if you're a 16-year-old, you're going to end up with a lot of people at your funeral. So, yeah, it's too bad. 20 people showed up. Oh, I feel bad I wasn't there today. I feel a little better though because she didn't go to the VFW afterwards. And I would have wanted to at least do that. Everybody went yesterday to the wake. Yeah, it bothers me I didn't go to either. Right? Ass, how appropriate for me. I know. That's funny. All right, I'm gonna let you guys go. It's almost 1 o'clock. I'm hungry. I didn't have breakfast. I want to see if my husband's back so I can take my car. And is it up to 40 yet? No, it's only 36. I want to get out into the warmth, get some sun, get some vitamin D, and hopefully just pick up my spirits. Although talking to you guys really helps me out with my struggles I've been having with losing my mom and stuff. Yesterday I said, I feel I was watching, what was I watching? Oh, Chicago PD, which I got to say, just in itself is stressful for me because I would talk to my mom after watching all of the Chicago med, fire, and PD shows. We would usually like the next day or whatever discuss characters and something that happened in the show. And since it came back on, I don't have her to talk to about. And watching yesterday while I was listing, which I did a bunch of listing yesterday, I was talking to her or not talking, obviously not talking to her unless I'm talking to her in heaven. But I was watching Chicago PD, and one of the characters was having a moment. She had been held like a hostage and had been shot and all this other stuff in past episodes. And she was having a flashback. So she went to this therapist and she's like, well, you might be having, I think you got PTSD and all this. She started talking about symptoms of PTSD. And I'm like, oh, that's me. That's me. That's me. That's me. And then all of a sudden it dawned on me. I'm like, ooh, maybe from the obviously not the same as like my husband's PTSD from being in war, completely different. But I feel like there's just a small amount of PTSD from finding my mom, reliving it in my head all the time, like feeling very isolated. And that's what she was talking about. If you feel really isolated, and there was something else she said, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's me. That's me. That's me. I'm raising my hand. So yeah, probably ought to go get some help for that. Alrighty, guys. Thanks for hanging with me. I really appreciate it. And I will probably come back on probably Thursday morning. Used to like to do Wednesdays, but then Scott moved from Tuesdays and Wednesdays and took my slot time. Because I like to ship Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. But I'll probably just go ahead and ship on Thursday. And I might see you guys Thursday morning. So hope you guys have a great week. If you get some sunshine in your area, get out and enjoy it. And I will see you next time. Bye.